Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go, go, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.
We are the nation of domination.
Nobody, bro.
I'm a dying breed. Hey, hey, whoa. I'm a dying breed. Whoa, I'm a dying breed. Riding with my brothers, fighting for a dream.
What is up? What is up? Welcome to another episode of Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, Bird Gang 31. In today's nation, we got a very special show again today. We got BG in the Bird's Nest with my friends. You know, we got D King, DMV say he's gonna come chop it up with me. It's gonna be an awesome day, man. Make sure you guys hit that like on the way in and subscribe to everybody that we're gonna have on the show tonight. But let's introduce the first one. It's Mr. King DV. You know, co-host with JC Eagles Talk on the Showdown, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead and let everybody know about you, where you're from, where they can find you at, and all that good stuff,
man. I'm from here, YouTube at King DV Sports, all one word. You can follow me, subscribe, share the content, help your boy out, man. I'm trying to, get monetized. So, help your boy out. I am one half of the Showdown podcast. Shout out to my bro JC Sports Talk. Also, I do talk Sixers, and not just Eagles, but Sixers also. And I do talk NBA, NFL. So, just come through if you want to hear good conversation, just get good content, from someone else besides BG. But, thanks BG for having me. And, I'm just ready to rock.
Yeah, man. We are an Eagles family over here. Anytime we can help each other grow, we all come with different perspectives. We all come with different takes, but we all love the Philadelphia Eagles at the end of the day. So that is another reason why you should watch everybody. Everybody should get the love. There's enough time in the day to watch a little bit of everybody. So, yeah, like I said, we got some great guests. We got Dab Wit coming on later on today. We got Real Talk coming back because those boys and ladies are funny. And then we also got Haley Taylor coming up at the top of the hour. So let's get into it, man. The Eagles just came off a big win. Now we are definitely sitting top of the mountain at 7-0, baby. 7-0. Jalen Hurts and these Eagles are 7-0, man. Man, tell me, how'd you like the game?
I loved it. I loved it, man. But I wasn't satisfied. But I did love the fact that we won in convincing fashion. You know, on a team that we were supposed to beat. We didn't allow them to come back in the second half. We did score in the second half. I just enjoyed the whole game, and then the injuries that we faced, that didn't actually stop us at all. People stepped up, stepped in the role, and got to it and made some big plays, man. And I know we're going to talk about that a little later, but overall, it was just a great game, including Jalen Hurts having 4 touchdowns, including A.J. Brown having 3 of those things. Zach Pascal came out the woodworks, you know, and did his thing. So and I just like how he incorporated everybody. And then Miles got over 500 yards of the season, got another touchdown. You know, those things matter, especially against a team like the Steelers that's basically rebuilding at this point, man, on the trades that they made today. So it did matter that we beat this team.
Yeah, man. Pittsburgh, you know, we knew we had to go in there and handle business. Especially the biggest thing I wanted to see was execution after the bye week. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to see us get into that bye week, take so much time off, and then come out slow in the first, quarter, in the first half, and then like pull off some, big game at the end. I wanted to see a straight dominance from the start to finish. And I think we kind of seen that this week. We scored in every single quarter. The Eagles did what they had to do. And even late, when you were like, okay, defense, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? They scored a point. Boom. The defense come up with 2 big turnovers, to make sure that we ice this game away. So how do you feel about this team this year? Like, do you think, because I put in a poll question, 17-0 until proven otherwise. That's what I'm talking about over here. And I fully believe that. I put it in the air early, baby. I put it in the air early. 17-0 is what this team is looking like. The only persons that I think that can beat us is ourselves. And, how do you feel about it, from the beginning of the season to now at week 8 weeks in?
BG, this is not my first go around with you. And, I know we bumped heads before when you said 17-0, 17-0, and you were the only one saying it that I know of. But I'm rocking with it. I'm rocking with it now. 17-0 until proven otherwise, man. Like you said, ain't nobody can beat us but ourselves. And that's including not just the players, but the coaches as well. We got to hold everybody accountable. Everybody got to play their role in this. So 17-0 until proven otherwise. And then when we get to the playoffs, then we see what we can get from there. But for now, I'm rocking with the 17-0 right now, man. I'm excited.
You're rocking with the 17-0, but can we go with Joseph and go 20-0 until proven otherwise, baby? Are we there yet? Because I'm there, baby. 20-0. What team is complete like the Eagles? What team got layers on top of layers of talented players and that can rock with you for 4 quarters, man? I'm down with Joseph. I'm going to change it to 20-0 until proven otherwise for this year.
The only team that really makes me nervous, I ain't going to say scared, but nervous a little bit, is the San Francisco 49ers if they put that thing together, right? Especially if JG basically Jimmy Garoppolo basically just start playing like he played when they went to the Super Bowl with healthy Christian McCaffrey. Kittle's still there. They got a decent defense. They don't slouch. So that's the only team really that really scares me. Cowboys don't really scare me. So yeah, I mean, it could happen 20-0, but then we got to see one of those boys out AFC with the Chiefs or the Bills. So, you don't know. It's up in the air from that point.
I feel like the AFC, they could just beat each other up over there. You know what I'm saying? They're beating up on each other. And I know people I heard a lot of people talk about, are we going to get enough experience against good teams? So when we go to the playoffs, will it matter? And I say it don't matter. We are the good team. Every year we're looking up at teams. We're like, oh, yeah, if we played them in the playoffs, I'm sure our team can beat that team. What I'm saying? I'm sure they can, knowing in our head that they're a better team. This is a whole new year. We are the best team in the NFL. We are the only undefeated team in the NFL. We've already beaten the Cowboys, who are the top 5 team in the NFL right now. We've already beaten Minnesota, who's number 2. We've beaten these teams already. So in terms of litmus test. We've already won. We already passed. We are the team that they have to wonder, can they beat the Eagles, especially if we get home field advantage going through the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at a point where it's like, this team has done it all, and they just got to stay consistent. And the best part about it, they're still hungry. You know what I'm saying? They're still hungry. They're still out there saying we haven't played a complete game. They're still out there saying that they could have did better. AJ had 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. He's like, man, I should have had 4. You know what I'm saying? I should have had 5. They're not satisfied with what they got. They're still hungry dogs out there. And I think that we definitely, the sky's the limit for this team. The sky's the limit for this team for sure.
Yeah, it is. It is a limit. But I just want to talk about, people are talking about the schedule and everything, saying that we haven't really played anyone, things like that. It's any given Sunday. These are professional football players at the end of the day. I don't care if we played the Jets. I don't care if we played the Falcons. I don't care if we played the last team on the total poll. We're sitting up here winning games. Winning 7 games is hard in the NFL street, So that's just like one of those things where it's just pure hate at this point when it comes to the Eagles. I've seen it on national media. They were talking about the Bills beating the Green Bay Packers. They talked about the Cowboys getting the win. They talking about the Vikings. They talking about every team but the Eagles. When it gets to the Eagles, yeah, they undefeated, but how good they really are, because I wanted them to be challenged and things like that. The fact that we're winning in multiple different ways scares people to the point where when we do play somebody that's challenging us, just like they said about the Vikings, oh, y'all going to lose against the Vikings. We demolished them. They said the same thing about the Cardinals. We came back and won them on that drive. Cowboys, they said, oh, wait till they see the Cowboys. Jerry Jones piped them up and everything like that. Look what happened. Then the Steelers, oh, no sleep on the Steelers, because it was supposed to be one of those games where as though it really didn't really matter to us if we won or lost, because, we was coming off the bye. Steelers was going into the bye, and we still handled business. And then we was still, after the game, on the bikes getting ready for Thursday. So, this team is different, and this is the mentality of Jalen Hurts. That's why I got this hat on. It's the mentality of Jalen Hurts.
I had my Hurts hat on.
It's the mentality of AJ Brown. It's a mentality of Nick Sirianni. Everybody's putting all efforts together on it, and then when the vets believe in the young leader, sky's the limit for this team. Honestly, man, like I don't really see too much of a flaw. The only flaw I see is questionable JG calls, but besides that, Jonathan Gannon calls. But besides that, I don't really see too many flaws in this team besides JG, and I say special teams.
Yeah, special team definitely got to get improved, man. I'm tired of seeing Kobe out there. I don't care who you put back there. Like I'm cool with, Devontae maybe receiving some punts or something like that if we need him in a game, the Deshaun Jackson type role. But we need to try someone else. Devin Allen, try Quez again, try Boston, try Gainwell, try somebody else back there. The guy's not exciting at all. Like I told in my last podcast, I wish, we need to go call Pittsburgh up and go get Sims. The way he was returning on it, at least he looked like he got some juice. Like if you blocked for him, he could probably take it back to the house if you blocked it up right for him. So I definitely believe that we do need to do something about that return game. And then with JG, man, I feel like, this is, the fruits of the labor of what we've seen last year. Last year he kind of did the same thing, you know what I'm saying? But we are losing games from it, This year he has the talent to kind of do the same things. And as you see, when the game got serious, these talented players know how to go make a play. You know what I'm saying? Like they will go make the play. Like last year, these plays weren't being made. We weren't getting these turnovers at the end of the game to close out games. We weren't getting fumbles and sacks and all this stuff at the end of the game to close out game in the same style defense. But we have playmakers now. We got players that know how to get to the football and get to it in a very quick way. And they're taking the ball away at the end of these games left and right, So I think it's not so much of really is JG going to call a bad game, because I seen him. He came with some different fronts this week. You know what I'm saying? They had a front with Hargrave, Fletch, and Jordan Davis on one side with, Reddick and freaking Josh Sweat standing up on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of new fronts, a lot of new line stunts that came with. When they did that play, I see Reddick came straight through on the loop and he destroyed Pickett. You know what I'm saying? He destroyed. I wish it was a fumble, so we could have took it to the house for a
Yeah.
touchdown or something. But I was like, man, Pickett's not gonna like that. And after that hit, I don't think he's gonna play good the rest of this game, man, for real. But he did all right for what he did. But I'm just saying, like this defense is developing. These coaches did take the time out in that offseason to make sure that we came with a few new wrinkles this game, I think.
Yeah, we did, but overall, it was just like a good performance, and I think it started out with the play of Jalen Hurts and to AJ Brown, and then also trying to get Devontae Smith and Metcalf basically put into the game plan along with Dallas Goedert. And the only thing I didn't like, honestly, be honest with you, and I know why they were doing it, because the secondary, besides Mika Fitzpatrick, their secondary is weak and against our receivers. So I understand why they were always in shotgun, but I didn't like always in shotgun. I wanted them to kind of mix it up a little bit, but it worked out in our favor, man. I can't ask for more. On the defensive side, though, I did want to see some more takeaways, man. One of those takeaways came at garbage time, but it count. It still count.
Mm-hmm.
CD Deuce got his fourth. And he only been with the team not even all year, half of the games.
He's balling.
And he balling, right? So that's what I'm saying. That it's just one of those things where talent is helping these coaches coach. And last year, like you said, not to cut you off, but last year you said that we had Singleton. Singleton was our leading tackle,
mm-hmm.
and it almost seemed like he wasn't tackling anyone.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think about the third quarter missed tackles? That's what I call it. Like, I hate that.
I feel like this team, they're just out there flying around. When you got, missiles locked on like they are in these last couple of games for sure. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have some missed tackles. Do you want to see them? No, of course not. But are these players making plays after they miss a tackle? And I think that's the difference. We're starting to see some players. They miss a tackle, you see them beating their head like, whoa, I missed that. Let me go out and make another play. Like I said, everybody on this roster is hungry. You know what I'm saying? There's too many star players. You can get contempt when you're a star player on a team, right? And there's not very many other star players around.
Right.
They know you're the top dog. So, like, you can have games off. You seen Fletch do it for a couple of years there, where he already knew he was the best. They ain't going to fire him. They ain't going to do nothing to his pay. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing nothing to Fletcher cause he's still going to be an Eagle, right? And you start seeing his play drop a little bit. But now you got him surrounded with all these players where he has to make a play. Because guess what? If you don't make it, there's someone right there that's going to make it. And if you want your stats up so you can prove your case for more money, you got to go out there and get it. And I feel like on offense and defensive side of the ball, that's what they are. They're hungry dogs out there looking for something to eat. You know what I'm saying? And anytime someone drops any piece of food, all of them are scrounging for it. Let me see if I can get it. Let me see if I can get it. On offense, you're like, when is Quez going to get into this offense? When is he going to get into offense? But it's not his time yet. There's still a long season. 7-0 is beautiful, but we still got 10 more football games to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's plenty of time in that stretch where Quez can go in a 100, 200-yard game, you know what I'm saying, and start picking up his numbers and make him look relevant again, you know what I'm saying? But we have so many weapons everywhere on offense and defense, especially that defensive side of the ball where it's like, where are you going to go? You starting to see Milton Williams balled out last game. He was a straight beast last game. You know what I'm saying? Like, he overshadowed everyone except for my boy Hargrave. Hargrave woke up this game
crazy.
And he said, hey guys, don't forget about me. I am a Pro Bowler myself. I do dominate in what I do. And he came out here and had a dominating performance. But even my boy from USC, Marlon Tuilalopo, I always mess that boy's name up.
Yeah. I ain't even going to try.
But remember last year, everybody benched him, and he was like on the bench, and like he was on practice squad, and everybody, he's not going to be. I watch USC football. That dude's a beast. You know what I'm saying? When he gets healthy, he's going to come out here. He's going to make some noise. And that what they do, they pretty much redshirted him all last year. You didn't see him touch that field. And this year, you're seeing this guy out there making big plays. So the depth is big. We're going to talk about it, too, with the injury of our boy, Mr. Jordan Davis, man. I seen the play when it happened. Like, that guy's just a little bit too big. He's a little bit too big to be floating that direction. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. Spot. But let's talk about Jordan Davis here. And what do you think this means for the Philadelphia Eagles? Obviously the trade deadline just came and gone. We didn't go pick up nobody. So do you think we are fine and set, letting this guy heal for 4 to 6 weeks, and then he'll come back towards the end of the season when we really need him again.
So first things first, I think that we jumped on the trade and block early with the Robert Quinn trade. I think that's what our big move was. I don't think that we were really focusing on getting a running back. I don't see why we needed a running back because I do got a little bit of faith in Gainwell, but it would have been a huge upgrade if we could have got a Kareem Hunt or a David Montgomery, somebody like that to complement Miles Sanders. But to Jordan Davis, that's a big hit, man, because one of our weaknesses, and you've seen it against the Lions, you've seen it against the Cowboys in the third quarter. That's when they rounded their comeback. The running game. Jordan Davis was a big part of that, But Jonathan Gannon got on the mic today and said, "Hey, I feel good about the guys that can fill in for at least a month, to accommodate what Jordan Davis brought, but nobody's Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis sit up there and be blocked, double teamed, and then reach his arm out and stop the running back. Like he's a beast. So it's a hurt piece, but the upcoming game, especially this Thursday, I'm not really too concerned about it. Then we got the mini bye too. I'm just happy that it was an ankle injury and not worse like ACL. I was pissed when he went to the tent and they said, "Yo, break out the cart." I said, "Oh,
yeah." I was like, "No,
that is bad. That's bad." But overall, man, I think we'll be okay. Especially with the upcoming games that we have, and then Carson Wentz got to come back to the link on Monday night. So I think we'll be okay for the next 2 weeks.
I'm going to that game too. I'm be there. Carson. You going to the game?
No, not that game. Not that game.
Man.
I'm trying to go to the Packers one though.
Yeah, I ain't been in the Eagles home game ever, and I'm about to do it. You know what I'm saying? I just made up my mind. We go, sometimes you get in that mode like, listen, I'm not going to sit here and wait no more. I'm just going to go. Forget what's going on that work. Let's forget it. I need these days off, and I am gone. And I decided, I really was hoping Carson was coming back to the link that game. But, Carson's probably not playing another snap for nobody anymore. So, at least starting wise. So, it's going to be good just to see the divisional rival game anyway. We know we're going to do some live streaming and some podcasting. I just got a text from Haley, and she said that she is very sorry, but she will not be making it today. She was sick. She was fighting it. We're talking throughout the day. She said she's going to try to get on here tonight. And, she went to that game and got a little crazy, the baseball game. Phillies, go Phillies. You know what I'm saying? Got a little crazy out there. Everybody's under the weather. But, hey, shout out to you, Haley. Thanks. We definitely get you back on the show as soon as possible, man. So let's talk about this. Let's see here. What we're going to talk about here? Let me see. Where'd it go? I want to talk about this one. It's the first quarterback in a 90-year history of the NFL. 90-year history. Our quarterback, your guy that's on that hat, Jalen freaking Hurts. 10 consecutive wins, 10 consecutive starts.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that, man? Are you on? I see the hat, but are you 1,000% Hurts? Are you on board with me? Remember in the offseason when I was saying Hurts MVP this year, everybody goes, he's going to be better, but don't go that far, BG. He's going to be better, but don't go that far. And I was telling people, this dude's going to be an MVP this year. And now people are going to realize that.
Because, so you're a very optimistic Eagles fan, but a lot of people were worried because they were talking about his throwing arm and throwing motions and everything. And me and JC, we did go to the open practice. And a lot of people there was very pissed off, besides the one pass to AJ Brown that went deep, and AJ Brown went and got it. It wasn't really that much throwing. It was more of him running. And I know it was practice, but a lot of people wanted to see more. So around that time when we did that, it was more so that we wanted to see a lot more to have us convinced that, okay, this guy's going to be able to throw the ball. Now, throughout every single game of this year so far, he's gotten better with making decisions, making his reads, changing up plays. You've seen that against the Steelers recently. In recent memory, he was changing up plays.
Right.
He got Dallas Goedert wide open. So this is what I'm saying. It's a lot to do with the growth of Jalen Hurts. And we're just embracing the fact that he's gotten better, and I believe that with a record like this, he should be MVP. But it's going to be that big but. Yes, he's playing great, but look who he played against. Yes, he's playing great, but NFC is not what the NFC is supposed to be, because if Brady was doing good and Rodgers was doing good and all that, then we can see where he's going with this. Because we did see last year when he went to the playoffs and played Tom Brady, you seen what happened. But I think he learned a lot. I think he's a student of the game. He's always focused. A.J. Brown came out and basically said that, hey, Jalen Hurts is always serious. Like, I'll be telling him to lighten up. Like, yo, you just had a 4-touchdown day. Lighten up. He said, nah, I could have did a lot more. His mindset is on Mamba mode, to the point where it's like, yo, I'm trying to shut up all the haters. I'm trying to lead this team to the promised land. And I'm trying to shut up all the doubters, especially since he was in college. They've been doubting him. So now I already know he's going to go home to Houston, Texas and show off, because he's in front of his home crowd. But, overall, I just think Jalen Hurts with 10 passing touchdowns, 6 rushing touchdowns, 16 combined total. Like,
right there. The highest passer rating through 8 weeks.
Right.
Like, what other grade do you need to let everybody know that this is the best quarterback in the league? I know Josh Allen's a beast. You know what I'm saying? Tua's doing this thing over there in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Aaron Rodgers struggling. Tom Brady struggling. You don't really got too many other big namers out there that's doing big things this year. But Jalen Hurts, it's time to put the respect on the man's name. Through 8 weeks, he's the number 1 rated passer in the NFL. You guys doubt his call. Oh, he's just a running back that can throw the football. Oh, that's all he is a running back. That he can make some plays sometimes. He's a playmaker. No, he is a quarterback, guys. Quarterback. He had the highest Eagle, passer rating in that Pittsburgh game ever. And we crowned a lot of quarterbacks. We crowned McNabb. We crowned Carson Wentz. We crowned Vic when he was with us. And he was subpar Vic. Second stint Vic. He was number 1 Vic.
Right.
But we're so scared as Eagle fans to go out there and crown this man. And I'm crowning him, goddammit. He's the best quarterback we've had, ever. And he's only 24 years old. 24 years old. That means he got that much more career to do. He got that many more records to break. And he's on a record-breaking pace right now on breaking records for us. You know what I'm saying? Like Jaws was talking about, he ain't never had a quarterback rating that high, ever.
Okay.
He's one of the Eagles' greats. They look at this dude doing things I ain't never did as an Eagle quarterback. And he's only in his second year starting, man. Jalen Hurts is the mofo true.
He is. But what you meant to say was that he can be the best Eagles quarterback ever, because it's all about longevity. He has to take us to the promised land, at least the NFC Championship a couple of times, like McNabb did. He has to at least, have that balling out MVP season like he is having now, like Carson Wentz did before the injury. He has to have those things. He's always going to get compared to Carson Wentz. But as of right now, as we speak, I think that he's better than Carson Wentz already. I think that he has to beat McNabb. He has to beat that with the wins. Not talk about statistics. I'm just talking about the wins. With his leadership, he's surpassed every Eagle quarterback. I'm going to be truthful with you. But at a young age, and it's only going to get better once we resign him, because he's getting resigned. Oh, and once he gets his bag, then, he's going to lead the Eagles to more wins, more playoff appearances, and hopefully another ring, 2 rings, or 3. But first things first, it's the growth that we got to really cherish of Carson Wentz from last season to now. They tried to make him to like the Saints quarterback. What's his name? The running quarterback. They tried to make him into that.
Oh, no. You're talking about
I forgot his name.
What the boy name is? He ain't even relevant, so I ain't worried about him.
Right. But they try to make him that when Carson Wentz
we know what you're talking about.
And then they put him in the fire, and he led us to a playoff appearance when we were 2-5. Now we're 7-0. Now haters got more stuff to say about him, saying, "Oh, he only got to throw to AJ Brown." he only got that. Like Devontae Smith is not over there toe tapping on the sideline, or like Dallas Goedert is not running behind blitz, and
Taysom
catching
Hill.
the ball. Yeah, Taysom Hill. Yeah.
Mm.
So he's doing all the right things. He's making all the right reads. I think he only got 2 interceptions on the season.
And
You see what I'm
fluky
saying?
interceptions at that.
Right. Because some of them were
like,
tipped.
One,
Yeah.
I think it was 3 interceptions because I think 2 were fluky, like tip balls, and 1. There was that one, what was it, 2 games ago when I was like, Jalen, what the hell was that? You know, and he threw straight. I think it was a Cowboys game or the game before that where he threw it straight. He knew it too. He went off the side like, hey, I knew that was my bad. But no one's perfect. So it's like for that to be, you know, the fewest turnovers, you know, Jalen, everybody thought Jalen was going to be the turnover machine for some reason. It's like he runs the football. He's going to be fumbling the ball all the time. He's going to be throwing picks. He's not that accurate. Jalen don't do that. That's not his game. Ain't never been his game throughout the history of Jalen Hurts playing football. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't do stuff like that. This dude's a leader. He's going to take care of your football, and he's going to run when he needs to, and he's going to pass when he can't, you know, when it's open. So, and that's exactly what he's showing us. And I knew, you know, second year in the system, I feel like they kept talking about him being at the Peyton Manning camp. But like you said, man, I watched him too. He was changing the plays at the line of scrimmage like Peyton Manning. Straight up. That's what I got. I got Peyton Manning vibes. So for me, Peyton Manning's the greatest quarterback of all time. I love Joe. I love Tom. You know, but Peyton's better than me. He changed the game way earlier than any of those guys. You know, he was calling his own plays. Tom was asking Belichick, can I be like Peyton? You know, can I call my own plays too? You know, can I call my own plays? I know I got the range, but can I call my own plays too? And they're like, hey, you know, Belichick was like, not this year, Tom. Maybe next year I'll let you do it. And then after that, he kind of started calling his own plays too. But Peyton Manning's the GOAT. You know, every year, 4,000 yards passing, putting it down the tube. You know what I'm saying? Like, even his first year, rookie, 4,000 yards. Yes, he had 16 interceptions, but he had 16 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I look at Jalen Hurts, I'm like, yes, he's not doing, there's like things you got to compromise for. Like, I feel like people are like, well, he hasn't done this part yet. But then you look at the parts that he has done. It's like, okay, those parts outweigh what you're talking about here. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got 16 total touchdowns right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, your quarterback got, you know, 10, 12 touchdowns, you know what I'm saying, passing because he can't run the ball. You know, he can get away from, you know, defenders when they're, you know, got that pass rush strong going on. And that actually makes it better for the Eagles and their offense, the way they operate, as opposed to if your quarterback sitting back there, Tom Brady sitting back there, and they come in full blitz, he getting hit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might get the ball out early, but if those receivers are blocked for those 2 seconds, which we got the cornerbacks to do it, he's getting blown up. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like no team, no other, you know, team got what we have as a quarterback. And I think the league and I think fans are scared to really admit that we have something special. When they seen that, what they seen in Mahomes, yes, Mahomes does awesome trick plays. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be like, how the hell, you know, what did he just do? You know, and I give Mahomes mad love and mad respect. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he deserves $500 million. You know, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, and they paid the man. So good job for you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at nobody's chips. But Jalen's one of them type cats. You know what I'm saying? Where you can't compare him to no quarterback in this league. Not one. I don't see him looking like none of them.
So national media is trying to compare him to Lamar Jackson.
No.
No, they're trying to compare it right as of right now because of what they both could do now. Lamar Jackson, he does have 12 passing touchdowns. So they're impressed by that because he's also a running quarterback. But as a running quarterback, he did go and win MVP. You see what I'm saying? So, but, you know, some of those games that that Jalen Hurts was a part of, this like, let's say the Lions game. Let's say the Cardinals game. Let's say Cowboys game. You got Jacksonville Jaguars. It shouldn't have been that close. I think third quarter, but we don't win those games without him. We don't. Yeah, we had sacks, we had some turnovers and things like that, but without Jalen Hurts, we do not win those games.
Right.
We don't. You know, it was a time it was Jacksonville. They went up 14-0. Doug Peterson high-fiving and everything like that. Jalen Hurts sit up there and said, look, I'm taking my team down the field with my legs. I'm going to score this touchdown. Everybody start hopping on board. As soon as they start hopping on board, game was over. Game was over. Doug
Yeah.
Peterson face went like, man, Trevor Lawrence didn't know what to do. Defense stepped up because they seen their leader step up. Oh, wait, he on this type time. We got to get on that type time with my boy. And this is why Jalen Hurts, every time he goes to the podium saying, everybody has each other's back.
Mhm.
This is the type of team that I wanted to be a part of. This is why he's saying stuff like that, because once he does something or once somebody else like the defense does something, oh, I got to do this. You see him going to Jonathan Gannon, saying, hey, how would you stop me? How would you stop me so I can see what you see to see if other defensive coordinators or coaches think like that?
Mhm.
And if they do, the game comes easy to him. The game slowed down for Jalen Hurts because all the pieces around him, and then we only added AJ Brown. And let's say
that's the crazy thing.
Let's just say Zach Pascal because he got the one touchdown, but AJ Brown, and he
Quez had
opens
7
up everything.
last year. So yeah, we can stick with just AJ Brown because Quez did his thing last year in that third receiver role. And I'm not giving no shade to Zach Pascal or Quez Watkins in this, but I'm just saying, like, it don't even matter no more. When you move Devontae Smith, who was the best receiver rookie we ever had at this, on this football team, and you move him to number 2 right off the bump, you know you're the man. You know you're the man. So it's crazy, man. Let's even take a look. I didn't want to dive into this yet, but let's look at the schedule, man. We got Houston Texans, Commanders with Heineke this time. Heineke's a fighter. He's a fighter over there. I'm gonna give him that. I didn't know why they were even traded for Carson in the first place. It should have just started Heineke again.
Yeah, they should have.
The Colts, Green Bay, who's not looking very good this year. Tennessee, who's looking a little bit better. But Tennessee fans, before you guys get all excited, I want you guys to look at this one stat. What do I have it in here? Let me see. Look at this. AJ Brown was 659 yards, and your whole receiving core got 658. The whole core versus one man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but mind you, though, not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
AJ Brown got 5 touchdowns to they 1 though. The whole core though only has 1 touchdown.
That's crazy. They only got 1 receiving touchdown.
Because everything else was just running.
Wow, our boy AJ Brown having career highs. This is second career high this year, right? What was
yeah.
He lit it up.
That was
what game was that?
I think that was the Lions.
The Lions, yeah. And then he come back and break that. Boom. 3 touchdowns. I told everybody going into it, man, you guys don't want to put AJ Brown. Like, AJ's already been a Pro Bowler, right? And, he's already put up 1,000-yard season. Like, this guy is on the most running team ever. Like, the Eagles run the football. But AJ Brown was behind King Henry, okay? And I'm sorry that man is still, and I don't care what anybody say. I know Chubbs is the beast. I know Jonathan Taylor the beast, but Derrick Henry's that dude. He's a whole nother level. He's a whole nother planet. You know what I'm saying? Like, that dude gets like 40 carries a game, and that's not even normal in NFL. Nowadays, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a passing league except for Tennessee, because Tennessee giving the ball to Derrick Henry. And for him to be that high in the stats, for him to be that high, where I think they said the next closest receiver behind him, he was like at not behind him, but ahead of him in terms of like receptions, targets. He was like 90 targets less, 100 targets less than those receivers in that branch where you look at his passing touchdowns and the passing yards. He was like 90 targets, 90 receptions less than those guys. And that's a huge jump at receiver to be still with the same numbers. And I knew once he came over here that those numbers going to change big time. You know what I'm saying? They're going to change big time because we definitely got a lot of we like to pass the football over here in Philadelphia. Whether we want to pass it that much or not, we do it. And AJ's numbers, you're starting to really see that he is one of the best, if not the best receiver in the NFL right now. Because I'm starting to argue that, how I argue with Hurts being number 1. I'm like, AJ number 1 too. Like, how can you go one without the other? If Hurts is your best quarterback, AJ's your best receiver. You know what I'm saying? He putting up numbers this year. How do you feel about that? And where do you rank her AJ in the whole rankings there?
First things first, man. Like AJ Brown got drug tested after the game.
Oh yeah,
that's hilarious.
that's messed up. I wanted to use a different word, but that was messed up. Like, what do you say?
I was sitting there. It was just hilarious, man.
He said, I would have a drug test this morning, huh? LOL. Roger, just not random, right? That's messed up. Oh,
the
you
fact
had a 3 touchdown game. You must have been on juice that day.
I think the last person that had a touchdown day like that was T.O. I believe that's who it was. I think they showed the stats. But AJ Brown, man, I already know the tone that we were getting. I didn't think the trade was going to happen to JC yelled when we was looking at the draft. It was like, yo, we got AJ Brown. I'm like, no, we didn't. And it actually happened. And I was like, yo, we gonna be crazy on the edge because of Devontae Smith. Because I was like, AJ Brown's gonna open everything up. But the fact that AJ Brown is hard to tackle and AJ Brown can catch over people, right? And he's looking like a little mini Megatron, and he's basically making Jalen Hurts look even better. It's just like, yo, we got over on the offseason. We really did with AJ Brown. Now, where I got AJ Brown ranked, man, like a lot, I've seen the top 5 receiving thing. I think Cooper, they had Cooper Kupp over him. They had Justin Jefferson over him, even though he's not having a type of season that Justin Jefferson normally has. Because Vikings is finding different outlets to win. They just got the Lions tight end. So who else they had? They had a couple people over him. Cheetah. They had Waddle.
Cheetah's the best in the league this year.
Yo, this bull too quick, man.
When I see what he did on him,
when I seen at practice what he did to Darius Slay, I said, yo, he's too quick. I know they called him Cheetah for a reason, but to see it up close, man, that was ridiculous. But yeah, they got Cheetah up there. They got Waddle up there.
They were like 1 and 2. Did you see that? And like yards are like 1 and 2.
Yeah,
Cheetah and Waddle, man. Like, and Eagle fans, you guys know this. I've been saying this since the draft. I wanted Jalen Waddle. I told you guys then, and I'm gonna tell you guys now. He's a whole nother level. And I love Devontae Smith. And I'm not even saying Devontae's not good because he's great. You know, he's be a great football player. He's gonna have a great career. But Waddle is a different maker, man. Like, Waddle is crazy. When they traded for Cheetah too, I'm like, you got 2 different makers on your roster. There's no way, you know, that you're going to see Tua be that questionable quarterback no more. Like, as long as both of those cats are on the field. Because you don't have to throw deep bombs to these guys to get your yards up. You give them a 5-yard slant, and they're going to take it to the house.
They're going. Yeah.
You know,
they're going.
Like, those guys are beasts over there. And that is the only other team that I'm like, dang, man, like, they doing some special things over there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Tua can stop getting concussions. You know, he stopped getting hit up. But see, that's his thing. He's not as mobile as Jalen. And that's what you see. That's the difference. And that's what people don't understand. That is the difference. You know, even when Jalen was replaced by Tua, it's because Tua's arm's a little bit better. Mm-hmm. I don't even know anymore what Jalen practicing now. I'm saying at that time, Tua's arm was a little bit better, but Jalen's athleticism was a little bit better. You know, that was the difference between your 2 quarters. You pick your poison. What do you want, a better passer or do you want a more athletic runner? Yeah. You know, but Jalen's been developed in the passing game to the point where it's like now I'm like, he's the number 1 rated passer in the NFL. And I think Tua, what did it say? Tua was number 2, right? Let me see.
Tua
up there. I think Tua was number 2, and that's to show you.
Okay.
That wasn't it. Hold on. No. Where'd it go? There it is. Right there. Yep. Okay. Tua's number 2. You see? When you got playmakers that these cats got, it ain't hard to be at the top of anybody's list no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like 1 and 2. And I will even argue the fact that they got a better receiving core than we do. It's at least the top 2. I would say, you know, Tyreek Hill and Waddle are better than, you know, AJ and Devontae. And I'm an Eagles fan. I love both. I love all 4 of those guys for sure. You know what I'm saying? I think they're 4 of the best receivers in the league. But I would even give them, just because they're a little bit more explosive than we are. Tyreek Hill is on pace for 2,000 yards this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, ridiculous numbers. You know, we're about to be the first 2,000-yard receiver, you know, doing crazy stuff over there. And Jalen Waddle is like right behind him in yards, but he got some more touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? So it's like those 2 cats, like, I'm not saying that we can't be better than those 2 by the end of the season. You know what I'm saying? But as of right now, those guys are balling out over there in Miami, and I'm happy that we do have AJ and Smitty, to complement that. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of disagree because I'm more of a complete wide receiver package. I love explosive plays. Randy Moss is my favorite receiver of all time, but um, you need the total package. You got to go up there and get it. You got to sit up there and um, turn a 5 yarder to a first down and more or touchdown. You got to be able to open the field for your quarterback to get other guys involved. You got to be a blocker. You got to do all those things. That's why I loved Hines Ward game to be to just name someone. But I think AJ Brown is more strategic and more deadly than Cheetah, because you already know what he's going to do. He's going to get the ball and run. AJ Brown is a good route runner. AJ Brown is one of those guys who is hard to tackle. He's going to block. He's going to sit up there and ride for the quarterback. Just like Cheetah did too in the press conference when they was talking about Tua's arm and everything like that. But AJ Brown is one of those ones, whereas though that he could be one of the greatest, man. Like we thought that DK Metcalf was going to be. He could be one of those ones with this team, man. This is only his first season with us, and if they keep,
People always forget that AJ's only 24 years old too.
yeah, he's not
still young.
one of the old ones.
He
Yeah,
hasn't even hit his prime yet.
no,
Right?
and that's the scary part.
Every week is like career numbers because he never even had the opportunity to do none of this before. You know what I'm saying? He was like, I'm big, I'm strong, I'm blocking for Derrick Henry, baby. And we're winning football games that way. And that's what his mindset was. When I get my chance, I'm going to make my play.
Right.
And now he's on a team where you can actually be the star, my guy. You can be that big time star. Like you can put up 2,000 yards. Like I said, I'm not saying that AJ and Devontae can't do or be ahead of them by the end of this football season. I'm not saying that at all because I believe Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He presents more danger to the defense, so they got to respect him a little bit more than they got to respect Tua, to the point where these guys are going to be that much more open for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Like, it's all about the Jalen Hurts effect with this offense, and people zoning in on Jalen Hurts. He's making them pay. You see what he did to DeMarcus Lawrence. That was funny, but you see what he did to him. You see what he's doing. What people are trying to blitz him. Oh, watch number such and such. All right, cool. Hike. Got the block. Go right underneath. Go straight to Dallas Goedert. Get us a first down. He's going moving down the field. He's taking what the defense is giving him. His eyes is right open. Like he's not sitting up there running into sacks. He did a couple times last game, but he was just, I think he was just out there trying stuff at this point. The fact that we could sit up there and rest our starters in the third quarter means something. It means something.
Hey, hashtag we build different. Because I've been trying to push that hashtag, and I want everybody to push it. We got merch out on it and everything. Go get your we build different stuff because we are built different. And you might not ever see this Eagles team again. The way it is now, constructed now, this is a once in a generation, lifetime type situation that we're watching. We might see the greatest football team ever. I'm tired of the greatest Eagles team. I'm talking about the greatest football team ever go through here, because you look at those undefeated teams, they struggle a little bit harder than we have. We're not struggling, and even in our struggle games, we still win with double digits or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Like we're still doing it at a high level that other teams weren't doing it at. And if you, like you said, we don't control the schedule, but if you look at the rest of that schedule, it don't look like it's gonna get any harder moving forward.
No, I mean the only game I'm really concerned about, just like you brought up, Derrick Henry. I'm hoping that Jordan Davis is good. I'm hoping that he's good, because if he's not, then we're going to have a handful, because right now I think we're in the middle of the pack of the NFL in run defense. And that's only just because of missed tackles. We right there, but we just missed tackles, especially in the third quarter. And I'm like, that's our only downfall on defense, besides playing prevent defense at times. But I think that that's going to be a game. I know Dallas is going to try to play harder than they did at the Link, especially
Oh, yeah.
consistent home. And they got Dak back. The Packers is going to try to run on this too with Dylan and what you call him? I forgot his name. Wow,
Jones.
Brain. Yeah, Jones, Aaron
Yeah.
Jones. So I really believe that teams is going to start trying to get our weaknesses, try to open the door to the point where they can start to throw the ball. But you still got Bradbury out there. You still got Slay out there. So it's like you got CD Deuce back there. Don't forget about Marcus Epps. Even though he's been a little quiet, he could have had an interception last game too. But I really think that you got to pick your poison with this defense. On offense, you got to pick your poison just because of Jalen Hurts. Just because of Jalen Hurts, because you don't know if he's going to run it. Just like he said on the podium, I'm a triple threat quarterback.
Yes.
He said mentally, you got to worry about the run and you got to worry about me passing. He said that with confidence. And that's what I like about him. I like the fact that he's confident this year. This is his team. And he don't want to hear none of like I know he's listening to Sports Center or Fox Sports or NFL Network and all that talk trash to the point where they like he didn't really play anybody, especially when he only had 6 passing touchdowns. They were sitting up there like you can't have him in the MVP conversation because he only got 6. Now he has 10. And we still got 10 games. We got 10 games left. We have 10 games left, and you've seen the QBR. So what is it more that he has to do? But just like any Philadelphian, I don't care if national media don't like us, but I want them to speak facts. Don't sit up there and try to control the narrative, talking about these other guys like Jalen Hurts is not up there. If Hurts is not up there, then why are you putting certain quarterbacks up there like Lamar Jackson, whereas though he lost some critical games? He did.
I don't think that didn't he lose more than one time?
Yeah.
Like that's what really bothers me. Like you keep trying to throw teams and people up that lost 3 and 4 games. Oh,
right.
Even the Niners, how many games they lost?
Yeah.
They're like 2, 3 losses, right?
Yeah.
And you still like, oh, well, I think now the Eagles can match up well against the 49ers if they had to play them. Get the hell out of here with that.
Right.
Who can match up with us?
Right.
We that team.
They be like, oh, the Eagles, the only team that can either stop Patrick Mahomes and them, or they can stop the Bills. Bills just got Naheem Hines. What you call it? They just got him from the Colts. So they needed a running back though. But what I'm saying is that it's always politics as usual, to the point where the Eagles is always underlooked, to the point where they not addressing the elephant in the room is they're 7-0. Who's going to be the first team to try to take that on? Because they know they got a target on their back. That's what I'm saying. It's more as much as we got a big target on our back, to the point where we're holding on to that. We going into the Texans now. I know a lot of people saying I'm not worried about the Texans, just like myself, but Texas ain't got nothing to lose. What do they got to lose? Players? No. Brandon Cooks is already going off the team. Like he don't care about the team because they didn't trade him by the trade deadline. But they don't have nothing to lose. Anything can happen. It's like I said, it's any given Sunday. Not to say that we're going to lose, but players can get hurt. Things can happen to the point where our season looks like, okay, well, we got to get people back healthy. Like I said, the Texans are going to play us hard. We got to be ready. But I already know we're going to go 8-0. So I ain't even worried about that. On to the mini bye. We're going to have 10 days off until that Monday when we play the Commanders, the Toy Soldiers.
Question is honestly, I don't believe the Bills can beat the Chiefs when it matters in the playoffs. And that's another thing, man. Like, I don't know, man. I just feel like this team is that much different. We're top 5 offense and defense, You're looking at all these other teams. Like, the Bills are a good football team. Don't get me wrong.
The Bills are too, I think. Top 5.
Naheem Hines, okay, whatever. You got to run. But they had some running backs over there. I don't even think they run the ball. Josh Allen's their best running back. right now. He's the one running the ball. Whenever I see any big run plays happen, it's him running the football. And I respect that about Josh's game. Like, he can throw the football, he can run the football. In terms of like number wise, in terms of like attempts for rushing and whatnot, him and Jalen are pretty close in those aspects. They're both one of them dual threat type quarterbacks. But man, I think they just give him more hype than Jalen's. Like, it has to stop. It has to. You have to give us our respect. I think teams are so used to us being the underdog, coming in, earning our respect throughout the season, that the first year ever, and I've been an Eagles fan for a long time, the first year ever where the Eagles are the paper champs in the offseason. In the offseason, not during the season, not making trades, in the offseason. They don't know what to do with it. You know what I'm saying? No. Like, whoa. Now even Eagle fans don't really know what to do with it. They're like, whoa. Well, I don't want to get too hyped because I feel like I should be super hyped right now, but I can't get too hyped because I know my team, But I'm like, whoa, do you not see what they've done? They've done the same thing Tampa Bay did. They did the same thing that the Rams did. They hooked up the team. They upgraded to the maximum potential, and now they're going with a football team. And whenever a team's that much better than anybody else, it's like, I don't care about the Buffalo Bills. I don't care about the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't care about nobody. Can they beat us is the question. That's where I'm at with it. Can they beat us? Now, last year, could you say that? Yes, it's us. Can we beat them? And the year before that, can we beat them? But this is a whole new year. We have different rules. We have different freaking, we come with a different game plan. We're different in general. I wanted to even ask you, like, we got PROBOWLERs all over the place. Remember that year? I think it was the last time we won. 7-0 was the 2004 season. And that 2004 season, I think we had 11, 12 PROBOWLERs that year. What I'm saying? We went to the Super Bowl with T.O. and them. There was like 12 PROBOWLERs that year. I feel like this is one of those years where it's like, how many PROBOWLERs can you see right now? Like, how many of our players are tops at their position right now? You talk about receiver. AJ's one of the best receivers in the league. Jalen's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Dallas Goedert's one of the best tight ends in the league. Our line, as you know, is still the best line in football after 8 weeks. 8 weeks went by and we are still sitting there number one. I'm trying to look at the clip. There it is right there. Boom. Number one. Cleveland 2, Baltimore 3, and Green Bay 4. You know what I'm saying? We're still ranked number one there, which matters the most out of anything, because without a good line, you ain't really doing too much of anything. But, like, cornerbacks, number 1 and 2 right there. Slay and Bradbury doing their damn thing this year. Bradbury had a couple of penalties, but he's so good that you didn't even care about those penalties. Like Eagles fans, we jump on people for messing up in games, but when he messed up, whatever, can he come back? No touchdown, shutting down. He's actually having a better shutdown season than Slay. You know what I'm saying? In terms of shutting them down.
Because you got to pick your poison. And Slay, Slay is one of those ones that can shut down the whole side of the field. So they're going to try to pick on Bradbury just by watching tape of him last season when he's with the Giants, when CD Lamb burnt him for a couple touchdowns or whatever. They're going to try to pick on Bradbury, and Bradbury is going to have more of those opportunities. So what we're seeing is that, but they're not throwing to Slay's side unless we're playing that prevent defense. If we're playing that prevent defense, then it's more so where we're basically going to the point where, hey, we gotta go to Bradbury, we gotta go to Avonte Maddox. We can't test Slay side because CD Deuce behind him now, so you can't really do that.
No, he's doing good. And then Gardner-Johnson, man, like, did you know that that's what it was going to be about when we brought him over to the squad? Did you knew that he was that good? Because I knew he was good. Slot cornerback. I knew he wanted to play some safety, and they didn't want to let him play safety. But talk about a man that understands his role. Hey, I am one of the best slot corners, but if you put me at safety, my guy, you're gonna get some big plays. And what have we seen since he's been on the team? Like, he didn't come out in the beginning of the offseason. He came, during the season, and he is making play after play, and he's just a dog out there in the football field, man. It's crazy.
When that dude came back from injury and caught an interception with one hand, basically, he basically caught it with one hand. He used one hand to got it. He basically caught that interception to ice the game. He had two of those things, and that's what AJ Brown was saying. Two of those things, CD. Two of those things. But anyway, just knowing his mentality from watching his interviews after the Saints games and things like that, I already knew he was a dog. I already knew that he was going to come and know his assignment and just play it to the best of his ability. What I was hesitant about, because I didn't never see him play too much safety in the league, I seen him playing that, Avonte Maddox role. But I know how he is when he get hyped. He's basically like Patrick Beverly. He's one of those type guys. But he's kind of calmed down because he knows that, it's a team thing. And he bought into what we were doing as soon as he got here. And I need Robert Quinn to do the same thing. I need him to buy into what we're doing here. We already lost Derek Barnett. So you're going to get those snaps. But we got to get you immaculated into the defense scheme to the point where, everything is fluid. But back to CD Deuce, I think that it comes easy for him because of like the Darius Slay, him being one of those captains that's doing the play calling, making sure Marcus Epps is in his right spots. And, James Bradbury in his own world, but CD Deuce is his job is pretty much easy to basically just cover. He had last game he had a sack.
Yeah, he did.
So, he's one of those ones that not scared to blitz, not scared to cover. He's not scared to jump routes. Like you said, we're flying everywhere. And CD Deuce is just playing his role.
Who will be your most underrated player on this football team?
Most underrated player would possibly be. That's a tough question. No, it's not. Kaiser White.
Yeah,
Kaiser White. Because Kaiser White, it doesn't show up on the stat sheets, but the things that he does on the field, like pick up the slot, when it's beat and he's sticking with them, little things like that. He's very, very underrated on this team. And I just hope that he gets one of those games where he's, getting interceptions and getting forced fumbles and things like that.
He got himself a pick.
No, he did. He got a pick, but I'm just saying, I just want him to, get the spotlight one game at least, for the full game, basically defensive player of the week type stuff.
Yeah, he deserves it for sure. Yeah, Kaiser's a beast, dude. Like, people didn't realize, like, when I watched the San Diego, highlights. I know highlights. They say highlights don't mean nothing. You gotta watch the game tape. Highlights mean something too. Just like game tape means something, highlight means something too. Because if you got a guy that has 25 highlights in the game, you know what I'm saying? Like, that means something. That means he is the best player on that team, or one of the best players on that team. Or you wouldn't have those highlights. It's always balancing. Yin and yang, man. Like, people always get stuck on one side and they don't realize that without the other side, even when without the other side, that's not the you're not watching the totality of the player. And Kaiser White came over here and balled out. I knew he was gonna be a baller. He's doing exactly. He's leading the team in tackles. He's that middle linebacker that you wanted. Like, I want Nakobe Dean to be that linebacker. But
he get his time.
He hasn't played. He's not on the field yet. Consistently. I think he's only on special teams right now. And he got some playing time last week. He got that fourth quarter playing time, and we got the boys in there playing some football. But and I really don't. I'm not. And the guys, don't worry. I'm not worried about Nakobe Dean's development. To be honest, it's better that he is just like the bull from USC. You know what I'm saying? Marlon Tuatolo. It's the same thing with Nakobe Dean. Let him go ahead and heal that pec up. Maybe that meant that pec was a little bit more severe than we all thought it was. We were hyping him up starting linebacker. I know I was starting linebacker this year, baby. Nakobe Dean's about to go show you what time it is. And they're taking a whole nother route with it. They're playing smart, to be honest. Like, they've been smart the last 2 years. I would say this team has really been smart with their players. You know what I'm saying? The players' health, the players' well-being. To let Nakobe Dean play some special teams, and next year, you're not re-signing all 3 linebackers. You know it. You know what I'm saying?
You
Like,
can't. You can't.
Reddick's gonna be here, I think, and I
Mm-hmm.
think Kaiser and what's the other bull name? TJ are on
Edwards.
1-year deals
Yeah.
right now.
I
They're on
think
1-year
Edwards
deals.
is
So
going too.
go ahead and let them
So
play. Go get your money's worth with these guys, because one of these guys ain't coming back next year, and that's when you go ahead and implement a guy like Nakobe Dean to this defense and let him go ahead and
mhm.
start his journey.
Yeah, and that's what I want. I want this team to do. I know Kelsey probably this is probably his last go around.
Oh yeah,
He's gonna let Cam Jurgens do his thing, but I think he's still gonna be part of the organization. That was my question. My question to you is, who would you resign if you're Howie Roseman? Who would you resign? All the guys that we got on 1-year deals off the top of your head. Who
all of
would
them.
you think would enter?
Keep this team together for as long as we can, man. Like, it's more old school with it. Like, well, you gotta keep your team together. We don't need free agencies out there, free agents out there. We don't. We're gonna get great draft picks. Right now, we got 2 in the first round, so you're gonna get those high level players throughout the draft, and just keep the guys we got, man. Like, don't go get nobody else. Resign. I know we're getting more TV money, so every year you're gonna get a little bit more money in that coin, so you can actually resign some of these guys. And how he knows how to restructure deals left and right.
He
Bradbury
do.
got to stay. As long as you got
Mm-hmm.
Slay, Slay's here for 2 more years. So as long as
I think so.
Slay's
Yeah.
here, you got to have Bradbury here 2 more years. And then you can
Mm-hmm.
decide what you do with both of those guys in 2 years from now. You know what I'm saying? Chauncey Gardner Johnson got to stay. You know what I'm saying? That's a safety that's balling out right now. And this is his first year
Mm-hmm.
playing safety. So you got to
Right.
keep him in the fold and let him stay. In terms of linebacker, like I said, I like White. You gotta resign White to a long extension too. Like, I want White be here. TJ's my dude, like too. Like, I never was a huge TJ fan.
I knew he
Like,
was gonna say that.
I'm just like TJ is just when you rank him and compared to all the other linebackers, like his stats say that he should be there. But I don't know. I just don't get the feeling. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because it's so clean. It was like he got 15, 13 stats in the game, but none of them were like big tackles, where it's
No.
like, oh, he knocked someone's head off. He just made the tackle. He just did his job. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He did what he's supposed to do. So in terms of excitement, bringing that linebacker passion to it, you keep a guy like White, and then you go ahead and let the Kobe Dean comes in, and then you got White, Dean, and Reddick, moving forward. But if he kept both of them too, I wouldn't be mad. What happened? If he continues playing like the way he is, you're gonna have to Pro Bowl TJ. You're gonna have to go
Yeah.
Pro Bowl. If you keep playing
Yeah.
the way he's playing right now, you're gonna have to give him a Pro Bowl now. And now you're talking about a
Mm-hmm.
Pro Bowl linebacker, you know what I'm saying, on your team that's still young, that's still developing, and no one gave a chance to, and who might give you a team friendly deal because he was an
Mm-hmm.
undrafted player. So the money he's making right now is already more money he thought he was ever gonna make. So you got a
Yeah.
little bit of leverage that way in terms of negotiating contracts.
We just gotta let Howie do his thing, man. We just
Mm.
gotta let Howie do his thing at the end of the day. He knows what's best for this team, man. He put this thing together smooth and basically robbed a couple teams doing it along the way. But I would definitely bring back the secondary. I'll bring back CD Deuce and James Bradbury. I'll bring back Kaiser White. TJ probably will take a friendly deal. If not, then I'm not mad about Nakobe Dean starting at that position. Especially the Georgia Bulldogs, they can sit up there and do their thing
Yeah.
together, like in college.
I think that's gonna be a special thing that no one's talking about. Hey, and we're gonna
Right.
bring in another guest. We got Dante from Eagles talking the building. What up, my guy?
What's up, my guy? What's up? Everything's good in Eagles country, right? In Eagles land, we all
Yes.
good. Bird gang, everybody's happy, right?
We've been
7-0.
talking some positivity into the air right now with our Philadelphia Eagles, man. Having us drink, chilling, relaxing, talking that Eagles football in the nest. It's been feeling good, man. How you doing about?
I'm doing great, man. I am doing good. I mean, how could I not be? Our team is 7-0, and I don't want to get way ahead of ourselves, but for real, I don't see any loss. I mean, I don't see any. I really don't. Especially in the next 5 games, I really don't see any then. But if we go all the way out, man, this team is just so.
Is the value amount or minor? You hear him?
No, I don't hear him.
Dante, we lost your volume. Dante, hey, we don't hear you. You muted the mic.
No, still can't
Hello?
hear him.
No. I don't know what's going on here.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was going good too. Watch out,
Yeah,
man.
he was going right in.
YouTube, stop messing with our stream. Dante rolling right now. Let him play. What's going on? Try to back out and come back in. Try to do that. That's probably the best thing to do. But yeah, go ahead and continue what you were doing because I didn't mean to cut you off. I just seen
No, you good. But yeah, I think that I will sign the secondary back. I'll sign Kazir back. Probably not TJ, but if he takes a friendly deal, I wouldn't mind that either. Let's see. There's a couple guys that you like. I wouldn't sign. I don't know about. I think the leadership of Brandon Graham helps, but I wouldn't sign back Fletch.
Ooh,
I wouldn't. But Fletch helps too.
Well, you ain't
That's my guy. That's my guy. BG, my guy. But I don't know about Fletch, man. I don't know about Fletch, but I do want Fletch here still to develop Jordan Davis just to be a pro. Jordan Davis full year in here, he's going to be a pro, but he needs one more year, in my opinion. I think he needs one more year to get his body right, his mind right, to the point where, we the Philadelphia Eagles. We one of those, Brian Dawkins set the tone for how this defense is supposed to play. And I need everybody on that focus. And I know it's not that hard-hitting, league anymore, but at the same time, I want our defense to be like it is right now, for a couple years.
Yeah, the window's open for at least 4 years. I feel like.
Yo, man, tell me about it. Tell me about it.
Open because Howie went out and got young players. He didn't do what he did the Super Bowl year, where he got some good players, but they're all at the end of their careers. He went out and got some young bulls that haven't even hit their prime yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like Jalen Hurts is not in the prime, AJ's not in the prime, Devontae's not in the prime, Dallas not in the prime, Miles not even in his prime yet. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys are still, we don't even know what to expect out of these guys because there's, you know what I'm saying, they got so much time left in the league to even see what they can do. You back, Dante?
I hope I am. Can you hear me?
There you go.
All right, bet.
Let's bring it back around again. We got Dante from Real Talk up in the building. Dante, let's go.
Before I was so rudely cut off, I'm having trouble with my audio interface. But so I was saying that Tony Romo said it during the broadcast on Sunday, and he said most teams that you go in and you prepare for it, you try to take away what they do best. All right, so if they pass the ball, you pay a lot of zone, cover two, you make sure you cover everybody, right? You make them run it. Right, you make them run it because they don't do too well in run, right? And if they have a strong running game, you load the box up, right, and then you make them throw it. But that's not the case with the Eagles. You can load the box, and Jalen is going to kill you from the pocket. One of the things that he couldn't do last year, he has improved drastically, and now he'll kill you from the pocket. They tried it early in the season. They tried to use the same formula that they used, that Tampa Bay used last year in the playoffs, because that's when that was the old Jalen Hurts. But yesterday's Jalen Hurts is not today's Jalen Hurts. Okay, you could try that if you want to, but we don't have weaknesses, man. And I give hats off to Jalen, of course, for improving his game from last year to this year. Jalen truly epitomizes the Mamba mentality. Right? He embodies the Mamba mentality. He's not satisfied. Even now that he's an MVP candidate and this team is 7-0 and this team is dominating, Jalen comes out and talks about how, that wasn't our standard, man. I could have did better. I could have did that. That's that Mamba mentality. He's not resting, man. And that's what the league needs to be scared of that. Because if he's this good now, and he's still not satisfied, he's going to be better. he's going to get better. So if you are afraid of him, or if you are waiting for him to fall off the cliff, I don't think that's going to happen. And I think what's going to happen is he's going to ascend even higher than his level is now. And you guys better, I mean, the league, be on notice. Just be on notice. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, we were talking about that, man. Like, he's doing things. You know, he's doing things. It's special. It's special over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like when I was like, I'm telling him, when I was telling everybody MVP, baby, in the offseason, they'd be like, hey, he's gonna be better, BG. He's not gonna be no MVP, but he's gonna be better. We're gonna like it. I'm like, this dude's legit, man. You gotta understand what you got. You know, same system back to back. No one in the history of watching Jalen Hurts can ever say that they know what he can do in the same system because they ain't never seen it. You know, and that's a huge thing for quarterback. It's consistency, being able to call the same plays, you know, being able to, you know, elaborate on plays that you liked last year and be able to go back, okay, I like these plays. Let's change this up. You know, let me try this with it, you know, and plus having guys like AJ added to the team, Pascal, Devontae, Quez, you know, Goddard, you know, when you have the talent around it, it's definitely going to show up on that stat sheet, you know. And how do you guys feel about it? Do you guys think quarterbacks make receivers make quarterback, or both? Because I'm in the field of both. Like, you know, usually look at Green Bay right now. They don't got Adams no more, and Rodgers ain't looking the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't looking the same at all. And then you look at Carr, we're like, was Carr really that good? Because now he got Adams, and he's not looking as good either. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, how do you guys look at that?
I think it's a combination of both, of course. The Jalen's improvement, definitely you have to first give him credit for, like I said, having a Mamba mentality, going out there, working on this game, going down there, where was it, Texas, and working with the quarterback guru. And every time I hear a quarterback that goes in the offseason, works with a quarterback guru, they always come back better. Josh Allen did it. He did it. And he took a monster step. He wasn't this Josh Allen we see in his first and second year. He went and he got some help, and he worked on his game. And that was the model I always hoped that Jalen, when we were talking about, I don't know how big a step he's going to take in this. I don't know how big a step he's going to take from last year to this year. My measurement was always like, if he takes that Josh Allen step, we're going to be good. And lo and behold, he took that Josh Allen step. But that I give him credit for doing that, first of all. But on the other hand, receivers do help make you better. I mean, you have to have the ability, first of all, right? And then when you have a dynamic receiver such as AJ, they don't do anything but elevate your game because of their talent and their extraordinary talent. Let's put it that way. How can you throw a bad ball to somebody whose catch radius is so wide? I mean, did you see the catch that he made when he damn near picked it off the turf? I mean, he went down. That was not the best thrown ball. Yeah, that would have been an incomplete pass to any lesser wide receiver. But because AJ is who he is, he just made that a completion. So a receiver like that is going to help you out completion wise. T.O. did it with McNabb. McNabb never had like an outstanding completion rate. But that year when T.O. came, all of a sudden his completion rate went up higher. Because how can you throw a bad ball to T.O.? He was one of the greatest in the history of the game. And we might be seeing the same thing with AJ. He's one of the greats, man. He's making. I mean, come on. Don't give the. I mean, y'all got me hyped in this joint, man. Look, he threw some. I'm gonna put it on both of them, and this is how you can. This is how you say it's both of them, right? Because he threw some dimes to AJ in the end zone, but it was AJ's ability to go get those joints too.
Let's look at him. Hold on.
He wouldn't have got them.
I get copyrighted for this, but we're gonna watch these things because it was a thing of beauty here.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Hold on here. First off, we're gonna go with the play first that he didn't even score on. Look at this.
Brave with the strip. And here comes Hurts and company. And there goes Brown, reversing field. Taken up for a fourth touchdown. He won't get there. Got all the way to the.
That's not Minka. Minka back there. He's scoring a touchdown right there.
Yeah.
Minka's legit. You know what I'm saying? He's legit. So I understand him making that play.
Son, and he knows it. You never get ahead of yourself. As Hurts going down the field. Can he do it again? Yes, they can! A.J. Brown. Incredible. Touchdown number 3.
You know, if you get 3 touchdowns, I guess you're allowed to point fingers and get a penalty because that RPOs aren't running their quarterbacks as much. You know, the Aaron Rodgers of the world.
2nd and 10. Oh boy, deep ball it is. And it is caught for the touchdown. A.J. Brown from 39 yards out. It's 3rd and 8. Down the field they go, and he's got his 2nd touchdown of the game. A.J. Brown.
He's a bad man. He's a bad man. Oh my goodness. And that's what I'm talking about. A combination. I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's a combination of quarterback and receiver. Jalen threaded the needle, right? But it takes a special. I mean, because as precise as those passes were, Jalen Reagor doesn't catch those.
No.
Jalen Reagor doesn't catch those. So that's why I mean it's a combination. Yeah, Jalen, he do some pinpoint passes, but the special ability of AJ to go and get those passes and contest every one of them, he was contested and he caught them all, man. So
I think they were all double coverage, were they not?
Nice to meet you, man. First
all
time you go ahead.
Likewise.
Share some.
Likewise. So yeah, I agree with everything that you said, but you got to break up their friendship off the field too. You know, Jalen Hurts always speak about it that AJ Brown did too. A couple press conferences basically saying that we're playing for each other, and off the field they're great friends. They met each other's families and all that type of stuff. But on the field they're becoming even closer because he knows that Jalen Hurts is the serious one. AJ Brown had to tell him, like, yo, relax. You scored 4 touchdowns. You threw 4 touchdowns. And, you know, he's like, yo, that's not enough. He's still serious to the point, like I said earlier, and you just brought it up, the Mamba mentality in Jalen Hurts is infectious to this whole team right now. And I will say, too, is quarterback and receiver, only because AJ Brown is one of those guys, you know, the late hands. He's always talking about that. And he's shown that. He shows the simple fact that he's running his route and then he does the late hands. And he can hold on to the ball and also take a hit. It's hard to tackle them. You know, this is why that, you know, years ago, besides JJ Aldega Whiteside or whatever, we wanted DK Metcalf. Mm-hmm. Because we knew what type of receiver we needed because we had T.O. So now we have AJ Brown. Not only is he's a primary target to the point he's opening the field for Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith don't really need it, but at the same time, you know, it makes room for him to route run. Then if we go into a four receiver wide, then you got Quez Watkins taking off the top. So it opens up everything. So yes, I will say that it's a quarterback and receiver combination on this, but it's majority of them wanting to play for one another. Just like how Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison did, or him and Reggie Wayne did, just, you know, for examples. But we finally got 2 people together that can coexist with one another on this team, and not Jalen Reagor or Jay Jaw and everything, and just force feed and Devontae Smith like we did last year. So I'll say it's both.
Like in terms of that whole car thing, because it takes 2 special players to be together to make something really special. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, Derek Carr's a good quarterback, but he's no Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying? So when you've seen Aaron Rodgers and Adam together, that's magic, you know, happening before your eyes. Anytime they want to do what they need to do, they did it. You know what I'm saying? Like now, you know, you see Derek Carr, who was a good quarterback, you know, but you see Devontae, oh, they were friends, you know, they were, you know, teammates in college. It's going to be the same thing over there. It's not the same. You know, neither one of them looked the same. You know, they're not putting up big numbers, you know, huge numbers together. They're not really scaring nobody over there. But it's like Jalen Hurts and AJ, man, is this the best quarterback receiver duel in Eagles history? You know, I know it's only been 8 games, but you got to think of the future of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're only going to keep continually getting better together. You know, these guys knew each other longer than this 8 games. They knew each other. They probably played football with each other for the last, like, you know, 7 years of our life that we don't even know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys moving forward, they could, you know, because the only thing I can think of is like T.O. McNabb. That's the only time you had 2, you know, Pro Bowlers two, elite players being at the position together at the same time. Like even D-Jax, Macklin, those years we didn't have no elite quarterback those years. You know what I'm saying? That was like, you had back end of Vic, who else you had, Garcia or something like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they weren't no McHurts, AJ type situation out there.
I'm not that old, so I was getting ready to look it up. But yeah, I guess the closest comparison you can make is T.O. and McNabb. That's the sexiest one, the most modern one. But I was gonna touch on maybe Tommy McDonald and the quarterback back then when they won the championship. That might have been because they were both Pro Bowlers too. They were both Pro Bowlers back then. But if I don't have recollection of them, I'm not that old. But if we're going to compare T.O. and McNabb to this, I don't think that it's out of the way to say that. I don't even think it's too soon because it's only been 7 games. T.O. was only here 1 year. Come on,
1 year, yeah.
Let's not get it twisted. So we can make this comparison even after only 7 games. He was here 7 games. This looks like it might be more dynamic because, and I'm saying that projecting the future, of course, but I don't see this being a 1 year and over type thing. We just signed this guy and we're going to sign Jalen. So they're going to be together for a few years here. And what they've done in the first 7 games, if I project that over the next few years, yes, this is definitely the best quarterback receiver tandem in our history. And again, I can't speak to the Tommy McDonald and that combination back then because I just not old enough. But I'm sure that the older people could probably speak to it and tell me if that was better. But in my lifetime, it's this one right here that I'm seeing now.
In my lifetime, I think this is, and it could be one of the best, man. It could be how Dante Culpepper and Randy Moss was, it could be that type of duo, whereas those that they complement each other well to the point where it doesn't even matter who else is on the field at this point. If Devontae Smith want his money or anything like that. My point is that we just got to enjoy and cherish both of their growths together to the point where we're going as far as they could take us. We're going as far as that. Our offense is going as far as they could take us. Basically, if they're not clicking, then everything closes down on Miles Sanders, on Dallas Goedert, on Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith can hold his own, but only for a certain amount of time because he's a great route runner and he's great on the edge.
To that point is, no, there's no closing down the shop, man. It's like if you do decide to double team AJ to the point where he's not catching the ball, like you said, there's too many other weapons, I believe. It's not going to stop this offense either way it goes because you got so many other weapons. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you got Smitty. You got, you can't double team everybody. That's just not, no one had that many good players on defense. No. And I think that the numbers game, you do the math. Once you double team one, you're already out numbers. You know what I'm saying? Like if you did a double team, you can have some deep coverage over the top. But, you're letting these guys get in the ball, and they'd rather probably get a 5-yard slant. They'd rather probably get, something short and quick, to get the ball in their hands, let them do what they got to do. That could show their talents even more. You know what I'm saying? You look at that one that, he didn't score a touchdown, but Minka, if it wasn't for Minka Fitzpatrick, he would have scored a touchdown right there. Like, they'd rather see that play than actually go out there and catch the 90 to 60-yard bomb where it's like, oh, you outran somebody and you scored a touchdown. They'd rather show you that they are that dude. Like A.J. Brown said, I am that receiver. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all just don't know about it yet, but I am that receiver. And it comes from playing in Tennessee for so many years. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, what about the new guy? I know he's going to take a while to get acclimated, but how do you guys feel about Robert Quinn?
My first opinion was Robert looked old when he came to us. He's wearing that old, air pilot jacket or something like that, walking around, look like somebody's grandpa. Like, Quinn, what are you doing?
Yo, I talked about that on my show. I said, Robert Quinn came in this joint like he was like Like, you knew he was not to be fucked with. First of all, I didn't know. I never saw Robert Quinn. Outside of a uniform, I never saw him. So when I saw him, I was like, is y'all sure y'all signed the right guy? I mean, he looked kind of scraggly. Like he didn't look like a millionaire or anything. I was like, yo, y'all sure y'all got the right one? Maybe that's why they got rid of him. They looked like they just got him off the corner and said, yo, man, you've been traded. Get in this car. You got it. I was like, yo, he looked like he was straight hanging. He looked like somebody's uncle. He like somebody's uncle hanging on the corner, drinking a 40. But in his interview, and he talked like somebody that he wasn't that guy. He wasn't that guy you mess with around the way.
Yeah.
He definitely spoke in that vernacular. Like he was not that dude. And once I guess once he lets his hair down, but he don't have any. But once he gets acclimated to the squad, he's going to. I hope he comes on and he's that 18.5 sack person from last year. I'm gonna attribute his fall off this year to the amount of double teams that he's seen in Chicago, and that should lessen a lot here with the Eagles having, us having a dominant defensive line. You have to pick your poison. Yeah, you got to pick your poison on who you're going to double team. So even if they choose to double team him, it's going to give somebody one-on-one on the other side. And if they choose to double team, well, Jordan Davis is out right now because he's always a double team candidate. But we still have some others like Reddick is a double team candidate. Anybody they choose to double team over there and they leave Quinn one-on-one, he should be able to eat a little bit more. So I'm excited to see how he fits in with this front seven. I think he is going to fit in very nicely once he gets used to, like he said, the plays are the same. It's just the terminology. So once he gets the terminology down, I think it's going to be an ugly thing for offenses, man. It's already been an ugly thing.
He almost got there a couple of times. He was almost right there a couple of times, and his pressure let other people make plays.
I saw a couple of this.
He only had like a small package for him. I know they didn't really, like you said, he was only here for like a week or something. They probably didn't get him in. They want to get him in. I probably see his best game probably gonna come after the little short bye we have after this Thursday night game. Because now you're gonna have 10 days to actually acclimate him into this defense. He's around the team. He understands. He didn't play 2 games with these guys to understand. What players, what dogs he got beside him and what they can do. So then, like that game after, that Washington game, we had 9 sacks, man. We might have 15 or 16 sacks that game, man. Because I think Robert Quinn gonna get unleashed that game. And we're gonna
9 that game. We had 6 Sunday. Yeah. Like, we a problem. We are a problem.
I'm looking forward to Robert Quinn actually helping us in that run defense. I know he's going to get more sacks than he did with Chicago this year, but I just want him to help us more in that run defense because I really believe that upcoming, I'm very concerned a little bit, especially with the Jordan Davis injury with Derrick Henry. We got to face him. And I know A.J. Brown is going to be excited to go back there and play his old team, but at the same time, we got to stop King Henry. And we're going to need Robert Quinn to step up. So I need him to get back to where he was last year on this team, and we're going to do some damage, especially against the running game.
Dude, that's good that you said that, because that is my next question. Who was the biggest threat, AJ or Henry? Even though Henry was running that football, but you couldn't just stop him because you had AJ over there. AJ put his numbers up in Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Like he said, leaving there, he was the best receiver Tennessee had probably ever had. You know what I'm saying? So he did his damage there with a Derrick Henry, and you see now that AJ's not, on Tennessee anymore. The difference, their record's not the same. They're not as elite. What do you think about that? Like, who do you think that if they both were to have great games, shouldn't the Eagles still be on top? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Derrick Henry, like, even if we didn't stop Derrick Henry, you know what I'm saying? Even if he ran for 150 on us, we still win that football game. That's how I feel about it. Because Henry going to do his thing, but he ain't been having no 200-yard games this year yet, But even if he were to go off, I feel like the running game compared to our passing game, plus we can run, you look at Tennessee, like again, we bring this one back up. Their receivers ain't even touching what AJ did by himself. Not even touching it, So Malik Willis, Tannehill, are they keeping Tannehill in by that time? Are they going to let Malik try to go out there and do his thing by that time? To me, it doesn't matter. The team is not capable enough to beat us. Like I said, like the only team, the only people on this roster that scare me is ourselves. Like we're the only one, the buy and away Eagles. That's the only thing that scares me. Because and it don't scare me that much because we haven't reached our full potential yet. Like there are bigger games to be seen. There are more better performances by players to be seen to the point where it's like, that don't scare me to the point. I'm just like, okay, well, when are we going to see that game? Like every hot take I've had this season, I want to see Jalen throw for 400 yards. That's just, after seeing Tua do it, I'm just like, I don't want to see Jalen do it one time. Even if it's not a consistent thing, I know he's not a 400-yard type guy every single Sunday, but if he can throw 400 yards in a football game with like 4 touchdowns, now that would shut the haters up for sure.
It would, but it's all like I said, with Jalen Hurts is always that big but or if factor. It has to be against a quality opponent. It can't be against the Washington Commanders. It can't be against
but the NFC East is the best division in football this year. So that's why I'm saying with the mindset, it's like we can't go off of past years. What was good? We were crappy last year. The NFC East sucked, for the last couple of years. But this year, we're the best division in football. So why can't it be against the Dallas Cowboys? Why can't it be against the Commanders? Why can't it be against the New York Giants when we play them? Because we are the best division of football right now. Right now, if the playoffs were to start today, 3 of us are in the playoffs right now. And the 4th one's not even looking that bad anymore. Now that Heineke been over there, I think they won 2 straight games now.
Yeah.
They
coming back and there's still 10 games left. So they coming back too. I heard someone tell me my last one was like, hey, Bergay, don't you think it'd be crazy? All 4 teams from the NFC East go to the playoffs this year. I was like, wait, at first I was like, wait, is that even possible? Like, can you do? But with that extra game, you can do it. That's crazy.
That would be crazy. That would be absolutely crazy.
That is what makes this year so much more special than any other year. Because if we run the division, if we sweep the division, and we become the number 1 seed, we did it in the best year. Not the, everybody in the division sucks or barely making it by. Like even like the Cowboys last year, they were like 12-5 or 12-5 last year.
Yeah,
and they were, best in the division, but like we were the only other good team in the division. The other 2 teams sucked. Like we will be 4 teams in the playoffs. Freaking our division's best division in football, and we won it.
If we're talking divisions, I think that Seattle did expose the Giants a little bit. I think teams is going to get onto that formula. As far as the Commanders, I don't see them scratching the wild card. I think it's better teams out there than them, especially if they last in the division. The Cowboys could still make noise, but at the same time, that's only knocking them down. It's going to take us. Period. They still got to face the Vikings. Who else did they got to play? They got to play a couple other teams that we already faced. And did they play the Cardinals already?
Cowboys?
Who's that?
Cowboys.
I don't know the Cowboys.
Nah, I don't think that. I don't think they did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they got D-Hop back, so anything can go. Swing differently. Right now, we 2-game lead, I believe. Especially if we win Thursday. So out of the NFC East, I do see 2 teams. I'm gonna put the Cowboys in there, but it's not gonna be 4 teams going. I'll tell you that right now. And if it is, it can, but it's
can because right now we are what? What is Washington right now? What's their record?
4-4.
4-4, 500 with 10 games left. Come on,
right.
500 with 10 games left. The
Right,
Giants,
but how many of those games they going to win?
they lost 2 games. Dallas lost 2 games. So if for us, it is an advantage. We're 2 games up. You know, like I want to see the Eagles pull our way to where if there was that slip up, it wouldn't even mean nothing to where we're positioned. You know what I'm saying? Like we're so far ahead of everybody. Because you look at the NFL, what is the next best team? The Bills, or in our division? Are the Vikings still only? Are they?
Yeah, the Vikings are still only 1.
They're 6-1 still. Okay, so
Yeah.
we need them to lose the game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like lose the game. Because I want it to be so clear that, like, at the end of the season, I want to be able to, like, as much as I want to go 20-0, you know how I am, 17-0 to prove it otherwise, 20-0, baby, let's get it. At the same time, it will feel good to know in week 17, 18, you don't even have to play nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can just sit all our guys out, you know, rest these guys. They showed us throughout the season that they understand what it takes to play some winning football to the point where it's like, we're sitting them out. Hell, I want to see our backups win the last 2 games, straight up. You know, because I think the thing about it, our talent level with our backups is still as good as some of these, you know, starters. For real. You know, our line is number 1 in the NFL because our backups come in and play and show you that we're still the number 1 line in the NFL. You know, how many backups have we seen play? Driscoll, Opeta. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got dudes on this line that are coached well that can come in and win a football game. You know, our backup receivers, we ain't heard nothing about Quez. We ain't heard nothing about, you know, let Pascal go ball out a whole game. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go let some of these young cats go out there and play a full football game. You know, backup running backs. Boston Scott ain't really done nothing this year. You know, Gangwell ain't really done nothing this year. It's been the Miles Sanders show. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. At the end of the day, you know, Garner Minshew, let him get up, go ahead and get some reps in there at quarterback. You know, on defense side of the ball, you look at our second rotation, all those guys will still be playing. Marlon, Mint Williams, Jordan Davis. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some beasts on the backup side of this football team. Let them win out the last 2 games. Let our starters rest. They earned it. They got it.
Let's just put in Reed Blankenship and don't put in what you call him anymore. I don't want to see Kayvon Wallace in anymore. I don't, especially after when CD Deuce hurt himself and he stuck it up to the point where Zeke was able to run it in. But yeah, I don't want to see him no more. But put Reed Blankenship there.
Kayvon?
Yeah.
Y'all done with Kayvon?
Yes.
No, we done with Kayvon. Kayvon needs to go back. Kayvon not done yet. Kayvon need to go back in the oven and bake a little longer. He's not done yet. He's not finished. He's not finished yet. Kayvon, and that's funny, man, because they thought that Kayvon had an opportunity to maybe start. Oh my goodness! Thank God for CJ. Thank God for Howie and going to get CJ. Because if we had to see Kayvon, we have a lot to talk about. That we probably will have one weakness that we could talk about.
Yep.
Look at this. He says, OBJ is a free agent, still kind of got to be concerned where he goes. What was you guys listen? I'm just saying this hypothetically for the playoffs only. Like, because you know, these type of when you pick up these type of free agents, even like the Robert Quinn deal, he's only a 1-year rental. You know what I'm saying? Would you want to pick up a guy like OBJ for the playoffs only?
No.
Nah, I'm all right.
No. He would disturb chemistry. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yes, I know.
Why?
I know.
These guys are all unselfish players.
His ego. He's not unselfish.
Like, we build an unselfish mentality around here. And
right. You think he's going to come in and not try to prove
Rams
himself?
Last year, like, I was big, you know, on the OBJ thing where it's like, okay, he'd be too much drama. But he went to the Rams. And fact of the matter is, he was not a distraction. And if he does not get hurt, he is MVP of the Super Bowl, period.
I agree with that. But what I'm thinking, like,
MVP.
It was a perfect situation for him over there at LA, because he could step in and he could get plays. He can get time. Where is he going to step in here where he's going to get that type of clock? I don't know. I mean, what, they're going to sit down Quez? And if they don't sit Quez down, then that's where he's going to have a problem. I don't think that he's going to just, you know, and I wouldn't expect him to. I mean, he's OBJ. He's got talent, right? So what receiver is going to come in with that amount of talent and be okay with not getting
What
the
receiver with
snap
that
or the
amount of
ball?
talent would not want to go line up with Devontae Smith and AJ Brown? What receiver with that amount of talent would not want to line up with those two cats?
No,
For
they
real.
would.
Think about
He
it.
would.
You got OBJ, Devontae Smith, and and AJ Brown. Who are you stopping?
Wait, I don't think DV or myself is questioning his talent, his ability.
Right.
He can
Right.
still play. We're talking about the intangibles, right? We're talking about the personality, chemistry. We're talking about those
But he
things because
showed
those
you that
things.
selfish cat last year. He did.
I mean, but we already have it. Why even risk it? Like, I don't know. Why would I even risk
who
it?
did Rams have? The Rams had
They had Robert Woods that went down,
Woods.
so that
they had
opened
Woods,
that gave
they had
them an
Cup, they had Jefferson, they had the other little dude that runs around look like Wes Welker too.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they had receivers. It wasn't a point. It's about stacking the deck to me. It's about getting to full capacity. You know, when you are unstoppable, period, to win that Super Bowl. I'm talking about throwing your chips in all the way, winning the Super Bowl, guaranteeing the Super Bowl. We knew the Rams were winning that Super Bowl last year. We knew Tampa Bay was winning that Super Bowl that year. You know, if you stamp it with OBJ, you'll stamp it to the point where it's like, no way in hell. If we lost the Super Bowl, someone need to be fired for real, for real.
Yo, you got me now. I'm thinking about it now. Now I'm ready to change.
Imagine OBJ taking a slant from Jalen Hurts to the house.
I'm ready to change because I'm only tempted. I'm only entertaining it because I have such like it would be like the way our regular season's going, and if it continues to go this way, it would be such a shame and a waste of a season if this season does not accumulate in a Super Bowl at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it would almost be like a waste of a year with how great we're playing. So I see and looking at it from that perspective, I can see where like, yeah, you would want to stack. So just in the event that something happens. I mean, the only thing that could probably derail us from going as far as I hope that we would go is injuries, right? So I feel that this team has got enough depth, but how could you turn away even more depth? I mean, because if we don't have it at the wide receiver spot, for real.
I was a huge fan. Go get Hunt. And I love Miles. I love Booby. Like, I fight for Booby all the fucking time. And I hate it. Because people are like, oh, is he that guy? He's not coming back. I want Booby to be here, our running back for the next 5 years. Easily. Because, like, that dude's legit. Like, for real, legit. If anybody has shown anything, Booby's legit. Now, his health in the early stages, I believe that came from not being used right. You know, you didn't get him hit enough for him to, when he finally takes his hit, to him to survive it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of them situations where he didn't get hit enough. Like, y'all don't freaking play preseason games. And, you know, you barely run the football. So it's like, obviously, if he starts shaking and baking, then next thing you know, boom, he's hurt because he hadn't really been getting hit in football. You know, football's a man's sport. You got to get hit a lot and often. You know, I want to see Jalen Hurts take a hit in the first quarter, straight up. You know what I'm saying? Just to get it out of his system, just so he understands where he's at, just so he understands what type of game he's playing. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted Hunt, man. I did want Hunt today, and I'm sad that the trading deadlines came and gone, and we don't got Hunt. I am a little bit sad, but I do want to see a little bit more Trey Sermon too, because the only thing we seen from Trey Sermon was Jacksonville. And that was 2 carries, 19 yards. Both runs looked great. Why aren't we seeing more of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why aren't we seeing him implement into this offense? Like, I want to see a little bit more of that type of stuff. Because it is the wintertime. It's the cold season. It's time to run that football. You know? Like, AJ Brown's cute. You know? Devontae's nice. But it's time to run that football down these guys' throats every single quarter. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Miles can't do it by himself, but, you know, I'm not saying Gainwell can't do it. I'm not saying Boston can't do it. But I will say I want to see some Trey Sermon. And I would have loved to see the Eagles do that 1-2 punch like Cleveland got. Like, if you bring him over, it's like you basically bring him over to the same side. You know, like he's already behind Chubbs, who's the best running back in the league right now. You know? And he would have just been behind Miles Sanders. Another good running back in the league. And yeah, I think Miles, 5th in rushing right now. I think I wrote that down.
What do you
Sanders,
guys think? DV, what do you? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you
I was gonna say Miles Sanders 5th in rushing with 80.4 yards per game. 5th, and no one thought Miles was gonna be in the top 5. Remember, no one thought that. Miles is top 5 running back this year right now.
What do you think they do? Do they sign Miles? Do they extend him?
You gotta extend him. At this point, I would do it sooner than later because he could be asking for a bigger bag. He did say he want to stay in Philly, but we already know money talks, and this is a business to the point where if he's over 1,000 yards, if he's over that 10+ touchdown, after just having like one last season, he's gonna want his money. He's gonna want his money, and that's just all about health at the end of the day on how his numbers turned out. But I would do it sooner than later because what we got. Think about it. Last game, the Steelers defense, even though their record didn't show it, the Steelers run defense wasn't no slouch. And he had 8-9 carries. He averaged 8 yards a carry, 8+ yards a carry. You can't find that anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you gotta look at. You gotta look at that. Now, if you want to power, I do agree with BG. If you want to bring in a bruiser back to the point like we thought Jordan Howard was going to be, or anything like that, I think that you should. But my question when everybody was talking about Kareem Hunt or David Montgomery, things like that, guys like that, I thought that where are the carries going to come from? Because we still got Gainwell, we still got Scott. We still got Trey Sermon. Do Trey Sermon go down, or does he get cut? Or who's going to make room for this running back? And why aren't we seeing, like BG said, Trey Sermon more? Why he played with Jalen Hurts? Why are we not seeing Gainwell be more explosive? Because I believe that he's getting more of that second reps because they want to open up the field for those short swing passes for Gainwell to do his thing. Gainwell is not really a good up and down runner, just like Miles Sanders are. But we need that type of running back. And that's why I thought that we brought Trey Sermon in, but Trey Sermon's not there. But to answer your question, I would resign him sooner than later because if you wait until the offseason, now you're going to put him in right with the 1 year guys, whereas though that we got to make money move around now. So I would sign him.
I totally agree with that philosophy too, and I think it's a great time to sign him. I think we get him at a good bargain if we sign him now, right? Because I think that after this trade deadline pass, maybe put something in his mind too, like they was not hesitating to bring another back in here. I'm doing good. If they come with the right offer, I need, and you know how he's going to sell it. Like, what I mean? They go to money. You get it now before get it back, get it now before the season, and you possibly get hurt again. You know what I'm saying? Like, take this bag now. Here go the money. And I said at the beginning of the year, like I felt that if he played the way he's playing now, I said by the 8th or 9th week, I think they come to him with a contract. And that because how he works like that, how he gets you and try to sew you up to a long-term deal at fair market or even slightly below. And it's usually done in the middle of the season and using that threat of secure the bag now because you don't know what's going to happen the rest of the season. So I'm with you, DB. I think that they should do it and they should do it now.
If that's what he's doing, go ahead and sign my boy Jalen Hurts.
Oh no, we can't do him yet. We gotta make him wait because he's gonna get a big bag. He getting ready to get a big bag.
Jalen freaking Hurts. It's my boy.
He's gonna get a big bag. When he get his bag, nobody else getting the bag. I mean, like you know how it is, man. Like Aaron Rodgers got a bag.
On that note, I want Jalen to pull the Tom Brady card. I do. Pull the Tom Brady card. Understand that you are still so young. Your money's coming, my guy. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're going to be, middle of the pack, low end quarterback, but you're not going to be number one. You know, take that top 7 quarterback money. You know, now I always said Jalen should take a 2-year, $30 million extension where you're making $30 million a year for the next 2 years.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Why you still have all your young talent on the roster? Why you still not paying? The team doesn't have to worry about paying all that young talent yet because a lot of them are first and second year players. Go ahead and do it. Like, don't go for the Dak Prescott. I need to be $40 million quarterback. The Lamar Jackson. I need to be the highest paid quarterback. That's why I'm my own agent. Do the Tom Brady effect, and that will show your true colors for real, because you are that leader. You are that guy representing a team that's fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can really add these, and that's what really matters at the end of the day, because endorsement money is way more than contract money. All that other stuff that Tom Brady made his money. People don't realize Tom Brady made his money when he was cutting these checks. You know what I'm saying? He knew that if I take a little money there, a little less money in the NFL, I'm going to make that money in endorsements. I'm going to make that money in a sponsorship. You know what I'm saying? So, Jalen, my brother, take a little less. 30
I
million a
disagree.
year, it's great.
Mm.
35 million even a year. It's great money for the next 2 years. Don't do no long, unless you're gonna do like the Patrick Mahomes. Give me 10 years.
Yeah,
500 million.
did you tell Patrick Mahomes not to get his top dollar? You
I
couldn't
don't care
tell
about Patrick.
Aaron
I
Rodgers.
don't care. But you gotta look at the difference. Look at the difference between. I'm glad you brought that up. Look at the difference between Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Aaron Rodgers got 1 Super Bowl.
Mhm.
Patrick got 1. I didn't mean Patrick. I mean Tom Brady, to be honest. Because Tom Brady did it, and he has what? 6 Super Bowls, 7 Super
But
Bowls?
Tom Brady had a wife
it
that
less-
made $1 billion.
Huh?
He didn't have to work. I said Tom Brady had a wife that was bringing home $1 billion. They had their household income.
Anymore,
You know what I'm
guys.
saying? Like, yo,
Like Tom Brady. I mean, Patrick
look,
Mahomes,
all right,
bought a
all
whole
right.
soccer league,
Let me
goddammit.
put it this way: being a selfish Eagles fan, yes, I want him to do what you're saying. I want him
Not
to do
even
exactly
selfish.
what you're
Smart
saying.
businessman for him. 'Cause
But
Jalen-
if I was his
that dude-
agent,
Jalen
though,
don't
you
have
got
kids. He don't have
this
a
is
wife. He
football.
don't have all this stuff that all these other quarterbacks got. He can afford to make $30 million a year. You seen the Jalen Hurts video of what he's spending his money on. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's seen that video. He's not
But
a
it's
guy that's out there
football.
flashy, buying all this extra stuff. So 30 million, when you're making what, $4 million is what Jalen Hurts made? $4 million, I think.
Mhm.
If you got 30 million a year, my guy, compared to 4, and you're budgeting off of 4, come on, my guy.
I
Come
want that. I want that. I want
You
him
know what
to
I'm
do that.
saying? You're helping your team. You're helping you become a greater quarterback.
I
moving
want that.
forward.
That's what I want. That's what I want for my
Jalen
Eagles.
Hurts saga would be great if he took a team-friendly deal.
But he'd be a
Off the jump.
30 for 30 if he took a team friendly deal and got hurt in the next game and was like Bo Jackson. He'd be a 30 for 30 in about 2 years. They'd be like, wow,
how
what did he
often
do
does
that
really
for?
happen?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
For real
yo,
though, like you gotta play averages. I love living life on averages because you gotta play the averages. How many great quarterbacks actually only have one good season? How many great quarterbacks only actually, get hurt that one big time injury? I had Leonard Fournette on my show, and we talked. That dude, the first time ever, I almost cried on live because the G was like talking about like he's not even cool with like the rest of these cats that he played with, and Leonard Fournette went from being a fullback when fullback wasn't making money to being the highest paid fullback. Got a devastating knee injury, and his career was done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've had that talk with these players for real. And like, that's crazy. And it can happen, but the chances of it happening aren't very wide. You take that team friendly deal. And third, like I said, when you make $4 million and you making $30 million, you do the math. That's 26 extra $1 million a year. but that also give your team. We got 2 number 1 draft picks next year. That will give your team backup to make sure that they go draft 2 number 1 type caliber players next year to add to this roster when we're losing players. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you think about it in that aspect, it would be smart for him because he can pull a Tom Brady. Tom Brady don't have to be the only guy winning all these Super Bowls. No other quarterback ever has won that many Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did a method that worked for him that ended up getting him 7 Super Bowls. Right?
And that was very smart. I agree. It was very, very smart of him.
Jalen Hurts is in the same opportunity right now. You know why? Because our team is so damn young.
And good, yeah. So yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
But young is the main statement of that whole thing. These guys, none of them are, like I told DB earlier, none of them have reached their prime yet. AJ Brown's not even in prime. Why do you think that's 2 weeks this year we hear about AJ career highs? Because he's never even been here yet. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't even blossomed yet. He hasn't even hit that full plateau yet. You know? Like, no one even knows how good AJ Brown even is right now. And he is one of the best receivers in the game. And no one even understands it yet because they've never seen it. You know? Devontae Smith is not hit his plateau. You know? This is his 2nd year. Quest, 3rd year. You know? Miles Sanders, still young. Still got years to go. Goddard, same. Offensive line besides Kelsey and Lane got at least 2-3 more years left. And Kelsey might be done at the end of this year, but we already got his replacements in there on the background, chilling now, ready to roll when he gets his name called. You know, like, why not do a 2-3 year deal?
So do you think
$35 million and let this guy
knowing Jalen Hurts' mindset this year and knowing how you know what he came and went through, do you think that he'll bet on himself like that?
Y'all know my answer. Go ahead, Dante. I'm gonna let you go with that one.
Woo! Philly's killing them. All right. Anyway,
4-0.
Yeah.
I was just watching.
I'm moving to Philly next year, guys.
Yes, I think Jalen has that personality where he would bet on himself because he has that much confidence in himself. If you read the reports or the stories, Jalen knew he was going to be where he is today when Carson was playing. When Carson was starting, Jalen was just biding his time, but he was not comfortable. He knew he was going to take this spot eventually. He has that type of confidence, and then he has that type of work ethic to back up his confidence. Like, he's going to come prove it. So yeah, I would say that he would bet on himself. I would love for him to take that deal that BG is talking about. Because that would be great for our team. We have cheap labor, and cheap labor meaning young talent. Young talent, that's the only way you get cheap labor. And that's the only way this thing works, is that you have cheap labor. Because once you give the bag to one person, like the quarterback, you can't afford some other players. So you need to hit more in the draft. You need to have more. Your batting average in the draft has to be extremely high now. Now you can't, if you got 5 draft picks, you can't be hoping to hit on 1 or 2. You need to hit on like 3 or 4 if you give the bag to the quarterback. If you're going to give half of the salary cap to the quarterback, that young, cheap talent has to come through and play at a high level. Luckily, that, these past drafts have been hitting more than missing. I mean, we got Jordan Davis, and this is just a short sample size, but we got Jordan Davis this year. We got Cam Jurgens this year. We got who else we get this year that's a contributor? We got the Kobe Dean this year. We have some contributors this year. We had some contributors last year, Milt Williams, along with Devontae Smith and Gainwell, and we got some contributors through that too. So we are adding young talent, and that bodes well for us to be able to give Jalen a little bag. But I would love for him to do what BG is saying and take a team-friendly deal so that we can stay relevant and going out and getting some of that more proven talent and mix it in with some of this young talent. Man, I'm just so high on this team and the front office and how he's doing, because he's all in. He is all in. He went and got Quinn. That proved to me that he's all in, but he's all in wisely. He could have gave up. He could have gave up that first round pick and went and got that got McCaffrey. He could have done that, but he was like, I'm not going to mortgage the future.
McCaffrey.
Yeah.
That's one question I want to ask both of you guys. Did you guys want McCaffrey and Burns knowing that you would have had to give up a first round pick?
No, I didn't want him.
No. My
not
reason
for the
is
first
because-
round pick and not for the salary cap. I didn't want to.
Yeah, it would have been a salary hit.
Yeah,
that would have been that's my reasoning why it would have been a big salary hit. And you know, they both are made in this league, so it's like, all right, they're gonna want their money. Where does that leave everybody else that we got? You know what I'm saying? I think Robert Quinn was the safest bet. Even Chubb would have wanted his bread too. So you Robert Quinn, it's a 1 year thing, whereas though that, you know, they made a deal with the Chicago Bears, got that off their book. So next year it's all fair game. It's all fair game with that. And I think that Derek Barnett, if I'm not mistaken, is still here for like at least another year.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hey, with the vote I had inside my chat, you know, shout out to 25 still up in there. Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe to everybody on the panel right here. 50 votes. We are 50%. Will the Eagles go 17-0? 50%. So half of everybody says, 25 people say Eagles going 17-0. 25 people saying they're not going to do it. You know, I've asked DB, Dante, are we going 17-0 this year?
Whew.
Let me throw up. Let me throw up the percentages here, so you can see the percentage of the rest of our schedule this year. You know, Houston 78%, Washington 79%, 80% chance of winning in Indy, 68% in Green Bay, 71 in Tennessee, 64 in New York, 73 in Chicago, 47, which is dumb as hell because we already beat the Cowgirls. And I don't know why they're trying to hype them up and get them excited like they can do something against it, because obviously we see that they can't. 47% with the Cowboys, New Orleans 74, and New York 76. Tell me, can we
I think we can go 17-0. I really do. I think that Cowboys game is accurate in the percentages, because I think that is the toughest game that we have remaining on the schedule. When you look at it, especially with that graphic on the screen, it shows that that is the toughest game. I don't even know why they have Green Bay at 68% unless they expect them to wake up, because if we're going to judge that on the way they're playing today, that we should have an 80% chance of beating them, because they suck right now. They suck, and that must be just because they have Aaron Rodgers that they made that a 68% chance of us winning. But yeah, the toughest game I see left is the Dallas Cowboys, and I think we can get past them. So I'm going to give the nod to 17-0. Look out, man! Look out! I'm not. You know, I go on the radio in Philadelphia to give my predictions and my outlook each week. And I made the error in the second week of saying that looked like a game we may lose. And that was only based on the first week against Detroit. I didn't like what JG did with the defense in the second half. And at the time I was thinking, like, if we're going to give up 35 points to Detroit, then we're going to have a problem with Minnesota. Once we demolish Minnesota, I said to myself, and I said it on air, I'll never make that mistake again. I'm picking the Eagles all the way out for the rest of the year until proven otherwise. And they haven't let me down yet, man. This team is solid, man. It's so solid. It's scary solid. It's scary solid.
Yeah, man. 20-0 until proven otherwise now. You know, like my boy Joseph said, man, like I'm on that boat now. I've always been big on 17-0 to proven otherwise, but who cares about 17 now? Because if you do that and you go to the playoffs and lose, that don't mean nothing.
Who jinx?
We've seen Tom Brady take the Patriots undefeated all the way to the Super Bowl and lose to the Giants. What a wasted season. How mad would you be as Eagle fans to watch our team go undefeated to the end? last game of the season and lose. No. I don't want none of that. If it costs losing that early game before then, week 16, week 17 game before then, just to, wake us up, I'm down with that. But I tell you, why not chase history? I feel like this team is so damn special that we understand, like, not only this could be the best Eagles team of all time, this could be the best football team of all time. And why not have that be our Birds? Or we can represent the best football team to ever play the game. Like, and I don't think people realize that this is the type of team we got.
Yeah.
We got that team this year.
Look,
we got that team right now, chasing rings.
Think about this, right? Let's just
Fresh.
Let's do a hypothetical, right? Let's say we do that. We do what would it be? 19-0? 19-0. Win the Super Bowl. We could put the rest all Super Bowl ring debates when how the Steelers fans come at us, how the Cowboys fans come at us, even the Giants fans come at. Yeah, you only got one though. You only got one. If we was to pull off 19-0, even only having 2 rings would shut all of that up.
Don't say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, only having 2 Super Bowls. We have 4. We have 4 championships.
I'm not that dude. You're not gonna come holler at me. I got 5 Super Bowls, and I tell you straight up, we got 4 rings. We got 1 Super Bowl. We got 3 championships.
Yes.
I'm sorry that you're, 50-year span ain't nothing compared to the 100-year span of NFL. We got 4 rings. You better put respect on all 4 of them.
And
after this year, when we win a Super Bowl this year, we tie with Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
We're
the only team
any of these Cowboys tell you different, because we will be tied. I don't care about your Super Bowls compared to championships, whatever. It's how you guys weren't around back in the day when we were playing football. Y'all was still trying to think of your name, your team name. You know what I'm saying? We were still out there on that gridiron playing football, winning football games. So we got 4.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I misspoke. We have 4 rings, but we would definitely put to bed any debate of that if we were to go 19-0. I mean, who else could claim that? No one, not even Miami. I mean, they could say they were unbeaten, but they can't say they won 19. They went 19-0. You know what I'm saying? So
that was 16-0 that season, or what?
Yeah, they played I think they played 14 back then.
So 14 regular season, 17-0. That's what they got, 17-0. Yeah.
So that would be
we could be that without even going to playoffs. And I already give credit to the Patriots for doing it. They did. They went undefeated throughout the season. Like, that's huge. That never fucking happens.
No.
You never see teams go undefeated throughout the whole fucking football season. Regardless if it's 16, 17 games, whatever. They went undefeated that season. They went undefeated in the playoffs all the way to the Super Bowl loss. But I feel like to be a Patriot fan, that would suck the hardest. Is to be perfect to the Super Bowl and then lose it.
Yeah, I would rather like you said, I would rather lose a game before that just to get it out of the system. And that's what I thought was going to. That's what I thought when I picked Minnesota. I thought that, all right, we would get that early loss, just like in 2017. We lost the second or the third game, the third week against Kansas City. We lost that game, and then it was a wrap. It just was a special year after that. We ran off 9 in a row after that. I was looking for something like that against Minnesota early in the season, but to my surprise, we won that game, and then we continue to roll, and we now are steamrolling. Oh, how about this? Did you guys talk about this? Was this not the most complete game we played this year? I mean, we scored in every single quarter. Was this not? I mean, what's your opinion on that?
Like Nick said to me, it was the best game. We don't need, everybody made a big deal about this complete game thing. I wasn't on that boat. I was happy with what we did. If you can go in the second quarter, put a game away in the second quarter, and come back, play some vanilla football second half, and still win a football game, I don't care. That's saving your starter. That's saving plays for later. You know what I'm saying? Why run up the score when all you're doing is showing your best plays? You're showing your hand. Here you go. This is what I'm going to do. For the playoffs. It's like, if you can go dominate them with your initial playbook, your first half playbook, and dominate a football team and be up by like 3 scores, why do you need that's everybody plays Madden. I play Madden. If I'm winning you, 35-7, 28-7 in that first quarter, in that first half, I'm putting on waste the clock. Run the clock. But they're gonna run the clock every single time I do a play, and that's what the Eagles football team did. They just kept running the clock, and I love that approach. It's really professional. It's not even showing that you guys, we're the bullies of football right now, but we're not going to show you guys that we're the bullies of football right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're the bullies. We can do what we want, when we want to do it, how we want to do it. You guys can try to stop it, but no one can. But we're not going to disrespect you and run the clock up on you. We're going to go into our waste the clock mode on you. I loved it. You know what I'm saying? So I was never concerned about the whole running the clock while we weren't putting points up in the second half, because I already feel like you showed the team you were superior than them in the first half. You don't got to do 2 halves in a row. Like, would I like to see a 50-point game? Would I like to see a 64-point game or something like that? Of course I would. That would be amazing. It would be awesome to see Jalen throw 7 touchdowns. Like, I was there the game Nick Foles threw 7. I was sitting right next to his parents in Oakland Coliseum. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was there, and it felt good being right there and like, oh, wow, my quarterback just threw 7 touchdowns. At the end of the day, man, you dominating that first half, man. Like, no one can even touch us. Well, we are like 100 and some points ahead of everybody else.
126.
126.
Steelers ain't even scored that much points in what, 7 games? 7, 6, 8, 7, 8 games. They ain't scored that much points. So, to answer your question, I'm happy that they did this against the Steelers, only because it was dominating when they needed to dominate, because that's what it is on record. We're more talented than them. There's no way you could beat us. So I like that in that instant. But I would prefer it against the Giants or the Cowboys next game, because
you want to blow out against a division rival.
I don't want to blow out. I want us to play a complete game like this, like shut them down. Our average for opponents' average is about 17 points. We held the Steelers to 13, and I know what people going to say that we went against Kenny Pickett and everything like that, and they had some injuries as well. They didn't have T.J. Watt, but at the same time, I want the rivalry games. I wanted it to be like, okay, all 4 quarters we scored. Anything they threw at us while we on defense, we shut down. We got some interceptions. We made Daniel Jones into a passer. We try to make that try to figure our scheme out. I want it to be like a dominant game against them, just so they can know that that's when they're going to know that we on notice.
And we scored a couple of those games at the end of the game. A couple of those games, even when they were talking this noise, we still scored touchdowns at the end of them.
We did.
Yeah, to put them away.
The fact that our defense always came in the second half and had turnovers, that was just like scoring to me. It's like, yes, if they didn't score points on us because we took the ball back from them because they couldn't score points on us, and we went right back into waste the clock mode. Well, who cares? Who cares? Because our defense showed that they are there too. Just like our offense is exciting, our defense is exciting. They're explosive. We're explosive on both sides of football. And we showed that dominance every single game this year. We showed that we could win any kind of way you want to give it to us. Every single time someone came, we complained. What if they did this? What if they did this? We came back the next game and showed them what's up. Even like you said, Eagles can't score in the second half. What we do this last game, we make sure that we shut that shit down now. You know what I'm saying? Now. Okay, I'm tired of hearing your noise. When will you crown us the best team in the league? When is that time coming? Because we are the best football team in the NFL this year. And I don't care what anybody says. I don't care about the Bills. For one, how can you say a team or even a quarterback with his team is better than us when they have multiple losses? How?
Politics. It's politics. How? That's all it is. That's
even logical. We are.
Well, I think,
and it was like week 4, right? Was that the last time we were undefeated? Week 4 or week 5? The last time since we've been undefeated that there was another undefeated team?
I think
Yeah.
4 or 5, right? Week after week after week after week, we are showing you we're still undefeated. You gotta crown us.
I pumped, or not pumped the brakes, but I think that the reason why is that we have not the consistency of some of these other top teams. Like, all right, let's take us out the mix because we haven't been a top team until this year for, I mean, we won the Super Bowl, then we started to decline until we made this meteoric rise again this year, right? So the perennial contenders for the past 5 years have been like the Green Bays and the Kansas Cities and Buffalo coming up and all that. They've been doing it for 3 to 4 consecutive years, and I think they don't give us the respect because this is our first year showing this type of dominance. The teams like Kansas City start showing their dominance once Mahomes made the starting lineup until now, so they give them more credence to what they do, and I think us being the new bullies on the block, they kind of are taking the let's wait and see approach. Like because we could have this type of year like we did the year we won the Super Bowl. We could have that type of Super Bowl year and then fall back into obscurity the next 2 years. You know what I mean? We've seen that happen. And now I'll admit that Super Bowl came out of nowhere really because we were I believe at that time we were on a more slower rebuild, and because of we caught lightning in a bottle, that accelerated our process. And because it accelerated our process to the point where we won the Super Bowl, Howie was forced to kind of keep that Super Bowl run going and abandon the slow rebuild. And that's what got us kind of tricked up. But he did a yeoman's job this year of retooling this team again to be as strong as it. If we so happen to win the Super Bowl this year, Howie has got to be in the Hall of Fame.
How come up here with no so happens?
I mean, when we
win the Super Bowl this year. Come on now. You know I'm not gonna let you slide with that.
I don't want to jinx us. I just don't want to jinx. I will.
It's an eye test, like they like to say. It's an eye test. You see a better football team out there than any other football team in the league. I don't care what team you watch, man. I watched Patrick Mahomes have a couple of nice plays this year, but he doesn't look as dominant. Their team as a whole don't look as dominant. And there's not another football team in this league right now to look as dominant as the Philadelphia Eagles. And I don't care what anybody did. Name one. Name one. Because for one, no one's undefeated. Period. We can end that story right there. But even if you want to go, okay, one loss, even the one loss Minnesota Vikings, they only lost to who? Us.
Us, yeah.
So you can't compare us to them when we already beat them. You know? So it's like, what other team you gonna throw out there to say, we are the cream?
Oh, well, now I'm gonna throw a flag on you. We didn't beat them, we dominated them. We straight up dominated Minnesota. That wasn't a beat. I mean, and what made it so impressive is that we put up 24 points, and it still was a dominating game. Like when you think about a dominating game, you think of like 35 plus points is a 20 something. We only put up 24 points, but when the eye test, like you like to say, the eye test showed that we dominated that game with only 24 points and taking the second half off basically because we didn't do hardly anything in the second half. So we dominated them so thoroughly in the first half that it carried over, and 24 points made it look like a blowout.
And the biggest difference is other teams don't have our defense. So when other teams do this whole first half dominance, they don't have our defense to guarantee that win at the end. And we didn't have it last year, That's a big difference from good and great teams. Like those other good teams, they might let these guys come back, but now you're looking at it's coming down to the wire. Like the last 30 seconds of the game, someone kicking a field goal, or the last possession of the game, someone scoring a touchdown to win. We don't let it get that close. We don't. Once you start making your move, our defense steps up because we got a legit bona fide Pro Bowlers, all-stars on our defense, and they shut you down. They're like, okay, enough is enough. you're cute, whatever, but it's over. Game over. And we take the ball away. Just like this last game. People probably even thought that maybe there was going to be a glimpse of maybe even Pickett bringing this team back last week. That maybe that something was going to happen when you see them score, a touchdown. But then at the end, our defense said, no, strip sack fumble, interception, whatever it is we got to do to tell you, no, you're not on our level. There's fucking levels to this shit. And you're not there at all, period. Point blank, period. And like Meek Mill says, there are levels to this, and no other team on the NFL to me is on that level. Going into that, they say right now, this is the dream matchup right now. Everybody wants to see this matchup going into Super Bowl this year. Everybody said these are the two best teams. Do you agree with it, or who else would you like to see? Because the Eagles going to Super Bowl. I don't care what anybody say. Eagles going. Are the Bills going, or do you think that there's another team that you put in there?
That's a good matchup. That's a good matchup, man. Like I said earlier, they're both in the top 5, defense and offense. This would be a great matchup to see like who's the better team with the running quarterback, or just an all around team. National media will basically say that it's the Bills, but we know just by looking at the numbers, just by looking at what we got now, it's our Eagles. Our Eagles play too hard to the point where Josh Allen would not be able to do anything that he's normally do. He's a beast, don't get me wrong, but I think that this will be a great Super Bowl matchup to the point where it will be close. It will be close. But I would still have it like 31 to like 23-24. Eagles will win that on the strength of their defense. The defense alone will get them to win. You have Diggs and Slade going at it. Our edge rushers would probably go at it with their line, and also trying to stop their new running back in Hines. And then also Josh Allen, you got to keep your eye on him. So what most teams do, just like we were talking about earlier, is try to pick on Bradbury. But, Bradbury is a shutdown cornerback this year as well. So you got to pick your poison with this team. And it's not too much you want to play with, because the way we roll it now, I really believe that with a team that they say is caliber based, because they feel like that we didn't play anybody yet, even though, the Vikings are 6-1. The Cowboys are still the Cowboys. Then you got Arizona that they thought they could beat us. Things, teams like that. And they even were saying that, don't sleep on the Jacksonville Jaguars when we played them, and we beat their ass too. So I say that to say this: Eagles will go to the Super Bowl, win the Super Bowl. If we in the Super Bowl, we're winning the Super Bowl. The point blank period. That's exactly how it's going to go. So this would be a decent and great matchup, and I will look forward to seeing it. I will sit up there and have a whole Super Bowl party just to see it.
And would you like anybody else?
No, because I think the Chiefs would possibly be more of a mismatch, because our defense is not going to allow Patrick Mahomes to be Patrick Mahomes and start doing no look passes and things like that. We're going to buckle down, and we're not going to allow the deep pass. How Jonathan Gannon do, and then who else you got? You got the Dolphins. We owe them one from the preseason. So those three teams I can see, but the Bills will probably be my pick.
What about you, Dante?
I think that would be a great game. First of all, the storyline on that would be so good. Two blue collar cities going up against each other. Two teams that are basically from the northeast, so both accustomed to playing in cold weather and the such. A gritty game, and as it stands today, these are the two best teams in the league right now. So that would be great. But me, I just want the ring. So I want the path of least resistance. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That would look good on paper, but I just want to win. I want the path of least resistance. I would like to play the Kansas City Chiefs. I would like to play them. Great storyline. We play our old coach. We play against arguably the best quarterback of this generation. And I think it'll be an easier win. But I'm not discounting the fact that the Buffalo game would be a great matchup. I just would like the path of least resistance, the one that's going to guarantee me a Super Bowl. That's the one I want. But I'm not opposed to. I'm not scared of Buffalo. Don't get it twisted. I think we beat Buffalo also. I think we are the best team in the league. I don't think there's a 1 and a 1A. I mean, I think that it's just a 1 and a 2, and we're that 1, and they're that 2.
Yeah, facts, man. Facts. I don't think anybody can touch our stuff. I don't think anybody's on our level, and I don't care what the schedule. If anything, I feel like those Western Conference teams, you know what I'm saying, those AFC teams are beating each other up to the point where, they'll have to struggle in the playoffs. Kansas City versus Buffalo, Miami versus Buffalo or Kansas City. It's like they have to go through a tougher gauntlet to get there. I mean, they're playing higher level competition, man, and they're going to get hit by better players to the point where if we did take this smooth sailing to the Super Bowl, we'd be ready for them, because we, like I said before, we beat Minnesota. We beat, the Cowboys. We will beat the Giants when we beat the Giants. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are things that will happen all the way up to the point. It's like, who else is going to make the playoffs in the NFC East? I mean, not East, but NFC in general. Tampa Bay, maybe. Green Bay, maybe. Like, we will play Green Bay, and I believe we beat those guys as well. It's like, we're already going to the playoffs, beating all your competition that you're telling us that would be a challenge to go to the Super Bowl. Like, we'll be that team. Like, Bills might not be able to say that because there's a lot of good teams in the AFC. There's a lot of good teams that can make it to the Super Bowl in the AFC because they could have beat a couple of them, but at the same time, they could probably lose to one or two of them, and then in the playoffs, whatever happens, happens. But we would have beat every team that will be our challenge till then. And then even then, like, they will have to hope that they're still healthy by the Super Bowl, that they're still playing it all. So they will have to give their best because they're giving their best in every single game. And I don't think the fans understand that the fact that we are beating these teams so handily, we're not giving you our best football yet. We're not giving you our best plays yet. We're not giving you our best anything yet. So going up into that Super Bowl, we can continue winning the way we are. When we get to the Super Bowl, they won't even know our best plays when we get there. So now that will be the game where you come out with all these extra plays that we be like, whoa, we haven't seen the Eagles run this play all year long. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoa, we haven't seen them run this defense all year long because we wouldn't have to have put it out on the tape. We wouldn't have to have put it out on film yet because we are handling these teams with our base packages, with our initial starts, with our initial game plans. You know what I'm saying? To the point where we're not extending ourselves to like, damn, man, let's go down this playbook. Like, we need something to get us out of this game to get this W, And I think that's the opposite side where people are really talking about in terms of like, oh, you haven't played a caliber team that's going to push you to that limit, Like, if you got pushed to that limit to win that game, you had to show some stuff. You look at Pittsburgh, they had to come with a trick play to even score a touchdown on them.
Mm-hmm.
Which if it wasn't just a normal reverse, they would have got -5 yards on that play, where they actually popped out the tight end and they got that little touchdown. That was cute. They had to go to cute things in terms of punts, in terms of, oh, we're going to do a fake punt here to get a first down. I don't even think they even scored on that drive. I don't really remember, but, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. They didn't even score on that touchdown.
No, they got the fake punt. I think they did score. I think that was the same drive, but they did get penalties as well to help them. Bradbury got called for a hold, and there was another penalty also. No, matter of fact, the fluke penalty on BG saying that he did something that it wasn't even. Yeah, no, it wasn't taunting. It was just
no, it was I heard him on an interview today on Sports Talk in Philadelphia. He said he made that sound. He made the sound.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. You can't do that. So that's and he took full blame for that. He
The
took
9 times
full
out of
blame.
10, they ain't calling that.
No.
Yeah. He said, you know, you can fake him, you know, fake jump at him, and he did that, but he did it, and at the same time he was like, and you know, kind of drew him off sides. But let's get back to like what you said. We're not showing all our playbook, and that brings me to kudos needs to go out to our coaching staff, man. I've been very, very impressed. And I've been saying I sound like a broken record if you see me on any other program, mine especially, but I got to give kudos to Steichen and John and JG and the coaching staff, because as much as we talked about as big of a step that Jalen Hurts takes this year is going to greatly depend on how successful this team is going to be or was going to be this year. We also, or at least I thought that we needed to see a big improvement from the coaching staff. We needed to see their growth also. They were rookie coaches last year. That was a young rookie staff last year, and they did a good job. Don't get me wrong. They came in and they led this team to the playoffs, and especially after the 2-5 start to go 7-2 the rest of the way. That was incredible. So I give them kudos for that, but they improved upon that. They kind of had the Mamba mentality also, that they didn't rest on their laurels. They went out and they got better. The play calling got better. The play design got better. Having Jalen in the system for a second year was a big bonus, because then they got a good chance to mold that offense around what Jalen Hurts does best and adapt it to what he improved in from last year to this year. And you can see that Jalen Hurts and this offensive scheme is fitting like a glove. Kudos also to JG for stepping it up. He got a lot of toys, a lot of brand new shiny toys to add to his or tools to add to his toolbox this year, and he's been using them in the correct way. I know he has those momentary lapses of passive zone defenses when we're up big, and I hate seeing that. He needs not take his foot off the gas pedal in the second half. But I see what his perspective is. He's up big. He wants to keep everything in front of everybody, so he goes to that zone. I hate seeing it. But outside of that, though, this team has, the coaching staff that is, has taken a big, huge step forward, and they have grown just as much as Jalen's grown. So I got to give kudos to Sirianni and Steichen and JG and the whole coaching staff outside of the special teams. That's another story for another time. But outside of them, I give the coaching staff an A+ for what they've done this year, man.
And me and King talked about this in terms of our return game. Like, what would you like to see done with this return game? We didn't make a move. You know, like I told everybody, I wish we would have went to Pittsburgh and gave him a 4th-round pick for Sims, because the way he was returning kicks against us, it shows some excitement. It shows some, skill levels. Like, Kobe's not that dude. Kobe's not showing us nothing. Nothing. You can catch the ball safely. Who cares? That's what you're supposed to do. You're a returner. You're supposed to catch all the balls. For real. So I can't even give him that. Like, he's not showing excitement. He looks a little scared. He looks a little out of place. Maybe from a small school. He's out here playing in the NFL. He doesn't feel like, he belongs there. You see that with players all the time. You've seen the Jalen Reagors of the world, who was a star in college, but he didn't never really grasp what he can do in the NFL. And now you still see him on Minnesota not making plays. So it's like, come on. Like, I think he psyched himself out early to the point where you seen him come after that, week 1, where he's like, I just really need to focus. I need to come out and, like, I feel like I'm letting the team down type stuff. And it's like, man, when you're in the NFL, you got to have that it factor, especially to be a returner. Returner is like, that is your main pride. You've seen Dante Halls, you've seen the Devin Hesters of the world. They knew that even if they weren't a star receiver or running back, that they were a star player in this league because they can return those kicks. And Kobe's not that guy. You know, like we got Devin Allen, we got Gainwell, we got Boston that's not getting the ball. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see, like I said earlier, Smitty can be a punt returner in crucial situations like Deshaun Jackson was. Like only like Deshaun Jackson. I'm not saying he needs to be our punt returner, but you know, if a game was close, you need to returner back there. Go throw it. Go ahead. I'm down with throwing Smitty back there. But other than that, like I would rather have a consistent returner that can, you know, get some yards in his return.
I wouldn't want to see him back there because number one, I think he's too valuable. But no, not number one. That's number two. Number one, I'm not so sure that it's the returner that's not getting it done and more of the scheme of the blockers in front of him. Does he really have that many alleys? Now, I have to admit, I have not, even in looking at the film over and over, I don't pay attention to the special teams as much. But so I would have to go back and look at it again. But from what I'm hearing from my co-host, whose opinion I trust, it seems to be that it might be more of the special team scheme, blocking scheme, that may be hurting him more than his ability. So with that being said, that's why I wouldn't want to see Smith back there, because if they're not blocking as they should, I think Smith is too valuable to be put in harm's way like that if the blocking scheme is not up to par. So I don't want to see him back there. Now, if I look and see that this scheme is adequate and somebody who has a return ability can make something out of it, then maybe he could be back there. I wouldn't be beyond it. But the way I'm seeing it so far, the blocking, Covey has nowhere to run. He has nowhere to run when he gets the ball. So I can't put it all on him. At this point, I'm happy that at least we have somebody that's fielding the punts at this time, because last year, you know, we had problems with that type of stuff. So just that is an improvement over last year. But the coach has to do a better job in getting this special teams unit ready to compete every week, because I haven't seen a week. The Eagles have a week of a special teams unit as we've had these past couple of years in a long time. So again, that's why I point to the special teams coach.
Yeah, it is coaching, man. And to your point, I don't want to see Devontae Smith back there. They did that last game. I ain't like it one bit. I didn't. I wanted to see Quez back there. I see somebody in the chat said that Boston Scott. I would have loved to see him back there. You know, I want guys that's going to be able to make a play. You don't even have to be taken to the house every time. Just basically, hey, give me a big yardage to get us to the 40. Give me big yardage so we can be in their territory. Something. No. It's just Kobe is not that guy. He's not. We threw him in there too damn soon. Only because of Devin Allen. Devin Allen was supposed to be that, but it is what it is. I think that we really need to focus more on a blocking scheme for Kobe if he's going to be the guy. If not, then we need to have somebody else back there.
Yeah, man. I think we need to give Devin, whoever, a chance to go back there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't want Devontae there being the main guy back there at all. You know, don't get me wrong. Like I don't want him back there returning every kick. He is definitely too valuable for this offense. But someone with some kind of presence. You know, someone that someone's scared of. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be an extra step. You know, if you win in all three phases of the football game, special teams, offense, and defense, that makes you more of a dangerous team as opposed to just being, okay, you're dominant on offense, you're dominant on defense, but your special team kind of lacks thereof. You know, like I would rather put a stamp, because I want this to be the best complete team the Eagles ever brought out on a football field. And I feel like they are, but there is still that weakness. That and the third safety, you know what I'm saying? Like those are some weaknesses that we definitely, you know, we can say we have. And I don't want, even if we go 20-0 and win a Super Bowl. I don't want them to be like, but there was this, there was that. I want it to be like, yes, that was the best team I've seen play football ever. Because that's what we're going towards. We're kind of winning and over exceeding expectations to the point where it's like, okay, yeah, if the Eagles win Super Bowl, they just win Super Bowl. It's more like this is one of the best football teams ever, ever. And it's hard to think about, but it's like ever. There hasn't really been another football team, So it's like I want to see this definitely go and be that team, the best team we ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and let's not do this too. Let's enjoy this ride. Let's enjoy this ride. I know we're hyped. We're definitely homers and we're fanboys at this point. But let's enjoy this ride, man. Because I got a co-host and I love him to death. But he'll come on after every game and he'll find that whatever we did wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, dude, we won the game. What's wrong with you? But I get it. He played football. He's like a coach mentality and all that, and I get it. But if you're so hyped on that, you're gonna miss enjoying this process, man. And then we don't know what's going to happen down the line, but we need to enjoy every win, and I'm hyped. I enjoy every win we have. Like BG said, man, it didn't matter to me that we weren't finishing games so much. It mattered to me that we were winning games. That's what mattered to me most, because I figure the more we win, the more time we'll have to clean up what we need to have. But I'd rather clean that up with a winning streak than to clean it up with 3 or 4 losses on our belt. So I appreciate the ride, appreciate the process, and don't get too ahead of ourselves, man. But I'm about to get out of here, but woo. Y'all put a hottie on here, huh? I think I might stay. No.
Right.
All right. I got it.
What's going on?
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
All right.
So funny.
She's just in time. We're going to do, look, we're going to do a virtual, I guess you're on this side. So do a virtual high five.
I'm over
and
here.
we're going
Hold
to,
on.
yeah. Bang. Tag team. That's the tag team. I'm tagging out.
like
She's
this one.
tagging in. You guys have a great night, man. If you guys are following this show, make sure you come and watch us Eagles Talk every Thursday, 7 o'clock on YouTube and Facebook, and every game day an hour before kickoff, man. I enjoy coming here.
I love working with you, Dante, man. You're awesome.
Man, same here.
Awesome.
Same here.
We talked off camera. We talked, I'm trying to bring you over. I'm trying to bring you over, man. It's great talent, man. I love to have you on board. But hey, even if you don't come over, it's awesome working with you, and I can't wait to do it again.
All right, you guys got to come over to mine, man. You guys got to
Okay, facts.
All right. Y'all have a great night, man. I'm out.
Have a good
Peace.
one.
All right. Deb, what's
What
up,
I
Deb?
miss? I'm like, what I miss? Watching
We got
Phillies.
the final
some
curtain call right here with Deb in the building. How you doing, Deb?
Good. Watching the Phillies, doing some other sports stuff. I'm doing some play-by-play. I've been setting that up. So yeah, things are a little crazy. But what have we discussed about our birds
Everything.
here?
We've been on here for almost 3 hours. Shout out to the
I can
police who have been here.
tell.
We've been on here for like 3 hours, but we are still talking some great Eagles
There's
content right now.
tons of stuff to
You know
talk
what I'm
about.
saying? Like, so for you, Debs, you can just go ahead and let us know how you feel about the team. How'd you like the game? We're gonna kind of catch you up to speed. It's gonna be hard because there's a lot of catching up.
I mean,
But I'm gonna let DV ask a couple questions with you. I'm gonna go ahead and let you know. Like, first start off, like, let us know how you felt about the last week's game against Mr. Steelers.
I mean, we ran over them. Is there anything else more to say? I mean, poor Kenny Pickett. I mean, the Eagles are on fire, and there's nothing else really more I can say. Going 7-0, about to be 8-0 in first time in franchise history. Super excited about that. I mean, Jalen Hurts has won 10 consecutive starts now. It's the longest streak by a quarterback in Eagles franchise history. He's set career highs. I mean, I can go on. I have like a list here because I just did a pre-show. So,
and for y'all don't know, Debbie is just as much of a Jalen Hurts freak as I am. You know what I'm saying? Just as much as the Eagles freak. That's why I love working with her because she is on the same level in terms of
And
we
that's
the
the
best.
funny thing. Prior to the season, I was a little iffy. I wasn't sure if he was our franchise quarterback, but being at that the first home opener at the link, you know, sitting there watching watching him play, watching the team play against the Vikings. I mean, it's definitely he's it. And I'm excited to see what the rest, what this team does for this season. I mean, AJ Brown. I mean, oh my God, I might be in love with AJ Brown too.
Right?
I mean,
AJ's that beast.
registered 6 receptions for 156 yards and 3 touchdowns last week. You know, the 3 touchdowns obviously came, in the first half, 39, 27, and 29 yards. And he became the first player since Drew Bennett to have three receptions of 25 or more in the first half of the game. So there's my stat on AJ Brown.
Okay.
I can keep going.
When you seen this, Deb, what did you think? When you seen that, what did you think?
What, AJ Brown?
Yeah, when you seen AJ and he did
I
this.
mean, oh, that?
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what?
You or you? Neither one of you.
I mean,
All
that's
right.
hysterical. I love the fact. I love that all the players now are doing. We're after every play, we're doing some kind of dance, which I'm a dancer. So I love that. I love when the players kind of mock a little bit. It's football.
Yeah, man. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about too. Like, and if you think this team can't go farther, if you think they can't get better, these guys are out there having fun playing football. Like they're having fun, and that is the most dangerous part about all this. Because at the end of the day, football is a sport. It's a game we like to play for fun. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're not having fun playing, you're probably not playing at a high level. But as many of these guys are out there just having fun, it's
And
like
it's showing.
it's showing.
Look at wide receiver AJ Brown off to an incredible start in his career. In the first 50 games, that's just
Right?
That was one of the ones I was talking about, to be honest. I call
Right?
it little touchdown dances or however you want to call it. But no, they're having fun. I mean, I feel like, and the Phillies are out there having fun now too. And that's, I think, part of the reason why we're in the World Series right now. So yeah, I mean, it's a fun season. The guys are working hard. I think we can go better, even get better than we are now. I mean, 8-0, hopefully undefeated. I had said originally 12-5. I think that's going to be better. I think we're going to be better than that. I'm not sure if we're going to go undefeated. I would love that, but I mean, I think we might lose maybe 1 or 2, but that is it.
Facts. Because it is a possibility undefeated. Like I'm gonna ride that wave for a while.
I'll ride it too.
I told you guys 17-0 to prove it otherwise. I came in saying 14-3, but when I said it, I said it's hard for me to figure out 3 losses. And I think each show that I did, I had probably a different loss in there. But for me, all those losses, we already played those teams. I was like Justin Jefferson in Minnesota. Maybe that's a big game that we can lose. Maybe Justin Jefferson goes off on us and we lose that game. I said, Carson Wentz, and we don't even get to play Carson the second time. So it was that game was done and deal.
Did I call that Wentz was not stepping on the field at the link? I called it.
Yeah. And I was like, maybe because you seen what other past Eagles that went to Washington did against us. So you're like, maybe that will be the case. Not the case at all. And then the third one was the Dougie P game, and Dougie P came out hot. Shout out to Dougie P.
Yeah, no, that was a good game.
He came out hot. I was like, whoa, Dougie P came to play today. I'm saying, is this going to be one of those letdown games? Is this going to happen? We beat those guys. So it's like the games that I thought we were going to lose are in the rearview mirror right now.
Right.
And I'm looking forward like, okay, well, I know we're not losing any of these games. So it's like 17-0 is looking pretty nice right now.
Well, and I mean, we can even talk about, I don't know if you guys have talked about yet what's coming up, but I mean, I have it in front of me. Obviously, we can go real quick. Eagles, Texans. I mean, let's laugh.
There you go.
Oh, there you go. You have it too. So yeah, I mean, there's just no way. So there's our 8-0 right there. Commanders, still it's not going to be as easy. I mean, they've got some great, Taylor Heineke's out there. He's on a roll. He's got some weapons this year, thank God. Dotson, Samuel, Terry, Scary Terry,
Yeah.
McLaurin. I mean, still, I feel we still, have the weapons though to beat the Commanders. The Colts, what's going on with them? Packers. Yeah, what is going on with them too? Aaron Rodgers has really just kind of blown it this season. I got the Titans. I mean,
Mhm.
Derrick Henry. I mean, I think he's a monster.
Mhm.
Just beat Eddie George's record for most touchdowns. He had some other ones thrown in there as well, and I'm a little worried about the Titans. But if we're gonna lose one, I think that might be it. And then Eagles Giants. I mean, in our own conference, Giants. I don't know. I don't know. Giants have shocked me. So we'll see. I don't know.
That-
Well, there it looks like people are more worried about Green Bay than
Yeah.
what's the
The only
71%?
team they look like they
That's the
worried about
Giants.
is us playing the Cowboys again, and we already destroyed
Oh,
those
right.
guys. So I don't even understand why that percentage is so low. It really makes me mad, to be honest. I'm
Right.
like, what? We just destroyed those guys. You think that later on in the season, I can understand. So let's go. Let's look at this. If we win Houston, Washington, Indy, Green Bay, who's this? I gotta take down a comment because I can't see.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
That's a Tennessee. Yeah.
Green Bay, Chicago. What is that record right there? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7.
14 and 0.
How many?
14 and 0.
14 and 0. At that point, we're number one ranked, NFC. Either one of these games, from the Dallas, the New York, or the New Orleans games, even though we own New York, do they really matter at that point? Are those really losses? Because are we really going to be playing players to worry about those losses? You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about, the back end of that schedule. It's well, if we already made it that far, then
Right.
you
The
know, I
only thing I worry about is injuries. That's the only thing I'm worried about in general with this team, with this rest of the season. That could be bad. But I don't want to think negatively. So we're gonna say no injuries and go with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think the team has very great possibility of going 17-0. But what about when they say 20-0, Deb? What do you hear when you hear 20-0 Super Bowl champions?
I mean,
What? I want you to give me your fan reaction first, but then give me, if you want to come down to earth type reaction too as
right.
well.
Well, it's funny when you said 29. I'm like, I mean, I guess I didn't think about postseason there because I'm like, wait, there's only 17 games, but that was my first reaction. I mean, has that ever? The Dolphins maybe in the 70s? Is that the last time that ever happened? They went completely undefeated. Is that correct? Am I correct in that my thinking there?
2004 is the only last time we played 7-0.
No, I mean,
No,
I
fully
think
undefeated, yeah.
fully
It's the
undefeated
Patriots.
seasons in the NFL
Well,
in the
besides the
NFL in general.
Dolphins,
I
the
think it was the
Patriots.
Dolphins. Okay.
Where the Patriots went what were they 17-1 or 16-1? What was that year?
Has anybody ever gone completely undefeated, including the Super Bowl?
No.
Just the
No.
Dolphins, right?
I thought the Dolphins did, but
Yeah, they did.
That's
Okay.
it.
The Dolphins
That
did.
was
That's
they
right. And it
were
was like
17-0, but that was with the Super Bowl because they played 14 games or something like that.
Mhm. It was like a shorter.
right. It was a shorter season. What was the year on that? Does anybody know? It was like
Offhand.
79, if I'm not correct.
79. Yeah, it was definitely the 70s.
Mhm.
I was kind of around, but maybe not. No. I won't be saying my age. No.
Remember when
It was
the
actually
Patriots did
72 though.
72. Okay.
My bad.
Yeah,
I knew it was in the 70s.
I knew it was 70s, but I wasn't sure what year because I was not here. So
Yeah, I wasn't born yet either. So, but I'm saying so even if we went 17-0, that's already matching there. But like I said, the Patriots matched that already. They went 17-1, Super Bowl, losing to the Giants, So I don't want that feeling, and I don't feel like if we went, we were like the Patriots team, like because even that year, I remember there were certain games in the season where they could have lost.
Mhm.
We still haven't hit that game where you look at it like, oh, the Eagles should have lost that game. Oh, we got lucky because usually there's those games throughout the Eagles season where like, woo, we got lucky and won that game, baby. Yeah, we did it. But we haven't really had that this year.
Is that too? Well, I don't know about that. So the
What game
Arizona,
you think we should have
the
lost?
well, I'm glad we didn't lose it. I was there as well. The Arizona game was tough, tough.
You think we should have lost the Arizona
Uh,
game?
yeah, we were. It was the Cardinals. Yeah, I was at the Cardinal Stadium in Arizona.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it. I mean, if honestly, if Kyler Murray didn't mess up, I mean, he slid a yard short of the first down. Then he spiked the ball, and it wasn't all of his fault either, from what I'm understanding. What the coach told him to do, blah 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 blah. And then they went for a field goal, and the kicker missed it. So, I
Mhm.
mean, if it was a comedy of errors, and it was 3 of them, and I feel like if that didn't happen, we may not have, won that game.
We've
Mm.
never lost. We never went into the second half losing. I don't think, if I'm correct, we've never been trailing in any football game. Is that the right stat? We've never been trailing in the second half of the football game.
Oh, second half, no.
Yeah.
No.
I think in the first quarter we have trailed because they got the ball first type thing. But in terms of like, once we got this game started, like we've never been trailing ever. It's always been catch up game with us.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
Although I am
that.
I am a little worried. I mean, obviously we proved it wrong last game, but we definitely don't do as well in the second half as we do in the first. But
That's a question that I like to hear and ask. Do you think that's more because of what we done in the first half? Because for me, we dominated in the first half to the point where it's like, okay, game over. And we're going into halftime feeling like game's over. So we're running out the clock the second half. We're doing vanilla play calling in the
right.
second half just to run that clock out, just to get off of this field. You know what I'm saying? We could be disrespectful. We can come out there and just keep slamming points down there, but you're also giving up advantage in terms of you're also having to go into your playbook and do plays that execute at a high level over and over again, to keep running up the score. Like, I think it's a good scheme the way we've been doing it. And I don't really have no problem with the second half of these football games. I think that the Eagles are that team that when you hear the media talk about it, they went out last week and showed you, okay, listen, you guys really think we can't score in a second? We're going to go out there and we're going to score in the second half of football game. Just to shut you up. It's more of a shut you up type thing as opposed to like, we can't do it. Like, and even those other games, I feel like we won. Like, we're over 100 points more than any other team in the second quarter. Like, that's never been done before, I don't think.
Guys, the
Like,
Phillies
ever.
are killing it. The Phillies are killing it right now. By the way,
Hold
my
up.
friend
Give us
is
an update.
texting me.
Yeah.
I don't even have it.
Oh my God, 7-0.
7-0.
Bottom of the fifth. Bottom of the fifth.
Do you guys feel like the Phillies about to win the World Series is that much more for our team and that much more in terms of the fan base and excitement of the whole area that is enough juice to push us over the top?
Absolutely. It's a great time to be a Phillies fan right now, and you're a Philly fan in general. And I mean, and even the Flyers showed up with their game yesterday, all in Phillies, decked out in Phillies gear, which is amazing to see. Phillies rallying. Philadelphia Union this weekend is in LA playing for the championship as well. So we have soccer thrown in there too.
That's why I love Deb. She got all the sports, baby. She got all the sports.
And yeah, I mean, and Eagles are about to go 8-0. So I mean, we've World Series for the Phillies, Super Bowl for the Eagles, championship for the Philadelphia Union. I mean, can you ask for more?
Right.
I mean, come on Flyers, come on 76ers too. I'm not,
Six has got to. Yeah.
Are you going to any more games this year, Debs?
Hopefully, I'm trying. So, I have a few things on my schedule. This weekend, I'm actually going to be at AC Caswell. He's one of the former Raiders. I'm going to be at his charity event called the $1 Million Mingle, and that's in Arizona. So, and also I'll be networking for Super Bowl as well. So So he's a good friend of mine. So I'm out there this weekend. That's why I'm not in Philly because I wanted to go to the World Series so bad. But
If you can't go to the Monday night game, Debs.
yeah.
If you can, 2 weeks
In 2 weeks,
Philly,
that's
go
gonna
to
be
the
tough.
Monday night game. We're gonna be there. We're gonna have an awesome live stream set up.
Oh, you're there?
Live at the stadium. We're gonna
Oh,
be
wow.
there. So if you can get there, go there. You too, DB. Y'all can get there. Go there. To be honest,
I will try.
ticket wise, that's the cheapest ticket you're probably gonna get. Because I was looking at a Green Bay game, and that's a little bit more pricey. And you know what I'm saying? Like it gets a little bit more pricey going down the stretch. But like
I do have a question though. I do have a question for Deb.
Go ahead, DB.
How do you feel when national media says that our schedule is not that tough compared to, other teams like the Bills and the Ravens and so forth?
You had to ask me this question, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean our schedule's pretty easy. So that's a tough one. I've actually gotten into a fight with a Bills fan about this. And I don't disagree. Our schedule's pretty easy. But that's the luck of the draw. That's the way it goes. And whoops, too bad.
Short and sweet. I like it.
I mean, and everything will come to light in the postseason. I mean, postseason's a totally different game. It's anyone's game. So if the Eagles are, as good as everyone thinks they are, then they'll roll in the postseason as well.
Right.
What do you think about that, though? Because I think I explained earlier how I feel like we have played the best teams in our division. Especially once we played the Giants. Once we played the Giants, we literally, once we beat the Giants, we beat all the next. We're number one in NFC East. I mean, not NFC in general. Number 2's Minnesota. We already beat those guys. Number 3's Dallas. We already beat those guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these other cats we've already beaten, maybe except for if the Niners come back, and they do their little stretch run at the end of the season. Right. All the rest of the teams we beat already.
They just got McCaffrey, so I mean McCaffrey's going to be a huge part of that team.
McCaffrey, when has he been good though?
Well, he just gets hurt.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
But
so I'm not relying on some dude
that
hasn't played football
in 2 years.
Yeah,
like you have a point.
Come on now.
Yeah, no,
I wouldn't have gave up that much for him for sure. If the Eagles would have did, I've been pissed.
Really?
But you got McCaffrey. You got McCaffrey.
Miles.
There was talk of that actually.
What was the stats? 5th in rushing, 80.4 yards per game right now. Miles Sanders.
He's doing a great job. But what I'm saying is that when I said the 49ers will probably be a threat in the playoffs, it's all up to Jimmy G. 1, 2. You got if you got a healthy McCaffrey along with Deebo Samuels. Like you got to put that into, and then you still got George Kittle. That's just the offense. They got a decent defense too. So you if they come along throughout the season, that's a team that I would be scared to face. But
I'm not scared of nobody.
I'll be scared to face them.
Nobody. They should be scared to face us.
I think a lot of people are scared to face us.
That's what I'm saying.
As of right now, yes.
From this year's Eagle team compared to last year's, compared to the 2017 Eagles team, compared to the 2004 Eagles team, the last team that went 7-0, there's a difference in terms of the label, how you place us. 2004 was a great team. You know what I'm saying? Like T.O., all the boys. But they were not the team to beat. There were still like other teams in the league that you're like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like they're good, but this team are good too. We are the best team in football this year.
I have to say, I was just at an NFL alumni event on Thursday, and all of the athletes were talking about the Eagles. So all of the former players, and one was an Eagle. He, Walter Thurman was there, so we had a discussion about everything that's going on. But Ed Blunt, former quarterback, he's San Fran. He called me the other day and was like, Deb, your Eagles are killing it. Congratulations. So they're the talk of the alum, at least. Or
it's this year. And that's why I say we are built different. That's why I made cups. That's why I made shirts. Because this is something special, man. Like you gotta realize what we are witnessing. This team right here is the best Eagles team ever put together. Period. It's the best Eagles team, and they're showing you every week. They're breaking record, career highs here, career highs there. Best in offense, best in defense, best secondary in the league, best, run. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are dominating every fashion to be like, wow, sit back. And like I told you early in the show, it's hard to really grasp the fact that we are that team. And I think that's what's really hard for Eagles fans to really grasp. We are that team this year. But like I said, we are used to the underdog mentality.
Right.
We're used to being that team that we didn't have the most complete team, but we're fighting. You know what I'm saying? We're dogs. We're hungry. We're going to go out there and we're going to scrap for those games. That game we should have lost, we won. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how the narrative was always put on our team. This year, before the season damn started, you knew that we are that team to beat. But you couldn't confidently, support it because we ain't playing no football yet.
Right.
8 weeks in, you done seen that we are that team to beat. And it's a different narrative. It's a different whole placement in the league as a whole. But Eagles are the best team in football. Everybody got to get on our level if they want to compete with us. And that's what everybody needs to respect from here on out. Like, I don't think they understand that. I don't think they understand that they need to respect that we are the baddest fucking team in football right now. Because it's different when you're like, hey, they got this game plan. We're going to go do this game plan against them, and we're going to stop them. We are like equal opportunity, meaning you can bring whatever you want to us, offensively, defensively, and we will stop it the way you want us to. If you want to stop our run, we'll pass. If you want to stop our pass, we'll run. If you want to kind of stop both, we'll do both then and still beat you. We are the number one team in takeaways this year. Remember Dallas last year when everyone was hyping Dallas up? It's because they were the number one takeaway team in the league. We're them this year. We got the best roster this year.
Who do you think's number two?
Who's number two?
Not that it matters, but
it don't matter for one. Are you talking about his division? Are you talking about an NFL?
In NFL.
Wait, before I get there, shout out to Robert Dritten in the building with the $5 super chat. He said, what did Daddy tell his son with two black eyes about
rooting for the
Cowboys?
Nothing. He already told him twice.
Right? Exactly. Robert always comes through with the cowboy hate. I love it.
Oh, Robert.
I love it. It's that banner. He knows that we are that team for sure. But like
even Dallas is giving us props. Like, Dallas fans are giving us props now, which I never thought in a million years I would actually hear.
Right.
Like, I had a Dallas fan next to me. I was watching the Phillies game the other day, and he was giving us props. And he was honestly busting on Dallas in general. He was like, I'm so disappointed, blah, blah, blah. Dak sucks, blah, blah, blah. Cooper Rush, he's like, did well, but not good enough, and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, like, he's giving, Dallas fans are giving us props now.
Because, listen, the funny thing about Dallas fans to me is, let me be 100% frank with you guys. You guys are talking from third place. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Okay? You can't talk from third place, my guy. I don't care how good your team is. I don't care if Dak's back. I don't care about none of that. You guys are in third place, my guys. Okay, so don't come in here with any kind. And look at Cole. Hey, shout out to Cole Cowboys. He's a part of the BGN network. But I will say second place. Second place, no, you're not second place, Cole. I don't care what you say.
Yes, he is. Yes, he
I don't
is.
care about the record. You guys are third.
I think the Giants are second.
The Giants are
right?
second.
Yeah.
No, they beat the Giants. They beat the Giants. That's why they're hanging on to that. They beat the Giants. They got the same record, but they beat them. So yeah, they up one.
I guess
I'm a little worried about the Commanders.
Yeah, exactly. We've heard more noise from the Giants all year than we heard about the Cowgirls. Period. So Cole, anyway, second, third is not number one. And like Nelly said, we are number one, no matter if you like us back and write it, whatever he said. but it was awesome. And that's what we are. We're sitting number 1. We are the
Loud
king of
and
the
wrong. Wait,
Loud and wrong.
to that point, that's funny. So wait, I was again at the Philly, watching the Phillies game. I was at a bar with a bunch of Philly fans, and we were my server was so frazzled, and so I looked at him and I go, look, I'm like, we're really nice, but we're just loud. And it was like the joke of the night was like nice and loud.
Nice and loud.
The Cowboys are praying. They are praying that the Texans.
There's no way the Texans are going to win.
No way in hell, Cole.
I will
Stop it.
wager.
It's not happening. You can bet your kids on it.
I was just ready to say that almost came out of my mouth, but I would never actually say that.
Not
Yeah.
the Eagles. Period. We are 8-0.
No way.
You might as well say 8-0 Eagles.
What's
Because the Texans
the
aren't going to be that team
the
to do it.
record's 1-5-1.
Yeah.
Who?
The
Texans.
Texans is
They're 1-5-1.
Yeah, they just lost. They just
For
lost.
real? That's their record?
Mm-hmm.
1-5-1?
Yep.
Oh my
And
god!
they got that tie with the Colts, I believe. Yeah,
they're not dangerous. They're not even good. They're not. I wish Brandon would have got traded because I like Brandon Cooks as a receiver.
Yeah,
and he should have got traded to a team that was worth his skill.
Not the Cowboys. No. Not the Cowboys.
I didn't care if he went to the Cowboys. You know why? Because that's the funny thing. Like everyone's like, "Oh, word! If the Cowboys were to pick up a receiver, would they be dangerous?" I don't give. I don't care who you add to that team. You guys messed up when you let Amari go because you thought CeeDee Lamb was Amari, and he's not even Amari. I don't care how much hype you want to give up to Lamb. He's a good receiver, but he's not even Amari Cooper. You see the difference. They only lost 2 games, yes, but you still see in their play the difference. Lamb was a lot better when Amari was there. You know what I'm saying? Like Gallup was a lot better when Lamb and Amari was there. But now that you got Lamb and Gallup together being number 1 and number 2, they're not as dangerous. I'm not scared of them.
The only person on that offense that really scared me is Tony Pollard.
Yes.
He's
the underrated guy on there.
Yeah, that's it.
Enough love for sure. Because Zeke's hurt for the next 4 weeks or something.
Oh, I know. I got him on my fantasy.
Pollard's that dude. Like Pollard's pretty badass. I'm not gonna hate on Pollard. Like I like Pollard, and the only reason why I don't like Zeke is because Zeke got paid, and Zeke started living the life. And when you start living the life, my guy, your football play will go down. That's why I want Jalen to be modest.
And I think he is. I mean, I think
I want Jalen to be modest.
He's an athlete.
The Tom Brady effect. Go and take you a $35 million deal for the next 2 years. I'm not saying a long contract, just 2 years. Why you still got all these slaves on the bill for 2 years? We got all these young, draft picks that we got on the bill for the next couple of years. Just 2 years. Just do your 2-year thing. Take $30 to $35 million for 2 years. And then at the end of that 2 years, once we win 2 more Super Bowls, then go get your money. Then go get it. Go get it then. I'm happy with it. Go get it. But until then, be smart. It's a business move.
Well, and that his entire team are women, his management team. So I don't think they're going to let him get to his head. So, I think
you think Jalen takes that deal though? Do you think how we got to resign him? I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
It has to happen soon because the sooner you do it, the less money you spend. Period. That's the business. If Jalen keeps doing what he's doing, he is changing plays at the line, which none of y'all thought he was able to do. For real. Let's keep it 100. None of y'all thought Jalen was that bull. And he is the bull that's out there changing plays at the line like Peyton Manning. Scoring touchdowns like Peyton did. And now y'all thought he had it in him. So don't come now like, oh, Jalen's great. No, y'all didn't think he was back then. I told you he was.
You did.
Now that he's doing it, how he needs to get on that Mike and pay him now. Like, because if you let this whole season go by, 10 more games go by. Imagine Jalen's stats 10 games from now. You know? Imagine those stats with us winning the Super Bowl, with us going to NFC Championship, with us going deep in the playoffs. You're going to have to pay Jalen a lot more money if you wait. What do you want to do? You guys want to pay him now or pay him later?
I would actually pay him before the season is out.
Yeah.
Just to get it out the way. Because then we got the rest of the money to think about what we're going to do with these 1 year guys. Think about what we're going to do there. Think about what we're going to do with the vets. Are they going to take a friendly deal? It's so much stuff that Howie got to work with in this offseason, but he's probably not worried about it. When he signed the extension, he did said that he was going to actually get us to the position to get to the Super Bowl. And I believe he put us in the right position this year, but it could be even better. We still got those picks. It's a lot to think about. But as of right now, I would sign Jalen Hurts before the season is out.
If you sign him, what are you paying him?
Absolutely.
That's the question. That's what I'm saying. So my question earlier, Deb, was, do you think that Jalen Hurts will bet on himself and take that deal that BG was talking about?
Would take what deal?
The deal where it's a 2-year deal and a 2-year extension, and then try to get
35 million.
Yeah, get the big money after that.
Because that 35 million, when you're making $4 million, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
30,
I don't know if that's
30 to 35 million a year. That's a lot of money.
He's a quarterback, though. Like, they make like, I mean, how much did Mahomes just sign his contract for? Granted, he's not
$500 million contract.
exactly.
What? But you got the point is, you look at that. You look at Aaron Rodgers, right? Who's been the best quarterback in the league, and he took all that money, but he don't have a team no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have a team to be great.
Super Bowl
You
rings.
only won one championship. You think Jalen should be smart like Brady and take that little bit less money for more chips, or go for the bad because you earned it and get that big money?
I mean, he definitely needs to get the big money. It's just a matter of like when he gets it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. That's
Like
tough.
this contract. Do
He
you
needs
want him to take, like,
right.
as a fan, as a content creator, do you want him to take less money, like a $35 million contract, when the league's at $40-50 million a year for quarterbacks? Do you want him to take that $35 million contract for like a 2-year extension, just to make sure that you're playing with these young cats for the next 2 years, and you have enough money plus draft capital to really execute and make a dynamic team to win a couple of Super Bowls? Or do you think Jalen should go big because he earned it, because Carson Wentz was supposed to be that guy? You pay Carson Wentz, and now it's time to pay Jalen.
No, I think he takes the smaller so he can go bigger later.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I think you take the 2-year extension, a little bit smaller, show him, prove for more than one season that you can do what you can do, and then you can go really big, like Mahomes did. Is that what you guys said or no?
Yeah.
He said Jalen can't take his extension to next year.
Yeah.
Scoop said. Exactly, but next year, what is that extension going to be?
I mean, because he's still in his rookie contract, so yeah, that makes sense.
Like, what is it? Like, he can. I would be mad if they gave Jalen the Patrick Mahomes contract
Up front.
Yeah, 10 years.
Do we have that money? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's not a good business move.
Next 10 years. Do you feel comfortable doing that?
No.
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 I don't think Eagles.
It's not a good business. Yeah, I don't think it's a good business move at all. Eagles don't have that much to be working with, trying to resign everybody.
Every year from here on out, you got to add like $25 million to the salary cap, because these guys are about to get. That's how the TV deals work, and that's how the media deal work. They're going to have that much more money every single year moving forward. So, what we think the Patrick Mahomes deal is so huge and so elaborate, where it's like $10 million, $500 million. It's so big of a deal. Like, in 10 years, that's not going to be that big of a deal.
Right. Okay, I have a quick question. Who in the comments said they should bring T.O. back?
What?
Someone said that in the comments. I didn't see who it was, but I had to call him out.
Did you bring who back?
Someone said T.O. should come back. I was like, wait, I love T.O., but he should definitely not come back. It's the second time. See, there we go. It's the second time I've talked about T.O. today, by the way.
We got T.O. back. We got AJ. Did you not see the way AJ disrespected these fools?
I agree.
Like, for real. Like, I haven't seen. Look at this. Hold on.
Uses his leverage to go against him, and right there, Witherspoon had no chance because he stacks him. You restack him, so the ball's going to hit you outside, and then he goes, "You didn't do it. You didn't do it."
Like, you or you, it didn't matter. Both of y'all, I'm too big for y'all. I'm on another level than y'all.
I love AJ Brown.
T.O. receiver. You know
So
why?
good.
It goes back to what I was talking about. He was always blocking for Derrick Henry. Every year in the offseason, AJ Brown had to worry about getting bigger, faster, and stronger. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they had a bell cow in Derrick Henry that you knew you had to block for at the beginning of every year. He knew he was only going to get so many targets throughout a year to make his name known. And he got bigger. He did what was necessary by being a bigger receiver and being able to be one of the best blocking receivers in the game. And he also perfected his craft at the same time. Like, that's a double whammy. You don't get those very often. Like, he already, he's coming from like a situation where he don't have to be a superstar receiver to be a star receiver. And he came in, he understood that this offense is going to be different, and he will be a superstar receiver because we do pass the ball more than the Titans. We do rely on our receivers more than the Titans, so a lot rely on those receivers. And we do got a special back in Miles Sanders, but he won't be overshadowed by the receivers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So back to the Cowboys. It was a joke, I believe.
In fact, it was definitely a joke.
He scored the guys all 3 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
There
you go. That makes sense.
What do you think about AJ Brown getting drug tested after the game?
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I didn't even know that. So I don't know how I missed that one.
Look how AJ responded to it though, for real. Like, that was crazy.
How does that
like
happen?
AJ Brown received a random drug test after his monster game. That's messed up for one. And then AJ comes back and he's like, I would have a drug test this morning now, huh? LOL.
No, he's just that good. He doesn't need steroids. I'm actually mad because I left my AJ Brown. I let a friend borrow my AJ Brown, jersey. It's in Philly right now, and I'm in LA, and I'm like, God damn it! So I need to get home to get it. So I'll definitely have it around Christmas time and for postseason, which is fine. But I was like, I want it now. So I have my gram. So I'll just rock Brandon Graham.
Give me your how good do you think AJ Brown's gonna be this year? I know we're only 7 games in, but there's a long season. Like, do you think he will be the best receiver in football this year?
I mean, he's heading that way. Who else would beat him?
So they have Cheetah, Tyreek Hill over him. They have Cooper Kupp over him.
Okay, Cooper's a monster.
Right now, I think they said Waddle also, but Waddle's Who else did they have? They had someone else.
It was
someone else.
It was Cooper Kupp.
It was
Waddle,
like 4 or 5.
Jalen. I want to say Jefferson.
Jefferson.
That makes sense.
That was it.
So was that 4?
Yeah, so he's 5th.
I mean, all those guys you just said are, insane. So I mean, we'll see. I mean, I wouldn't discount any of those guys. So, I mean, sure, I love AJ
Is AJ
Brown.
your favorite receiver, though? Do you think he's the best receiver in the NFL?
I think he's the best receiver for the Eagles.
For what he's done. He's
Yeah.
had
No,
2
he's
career high games. 2.
yeah.
And it was like, for me, those career high games were like games where it's like you would never have seen those games in Tennessee. Ever. You wouldn't see those games in Tennessee.
I mean, I
'Cause
think
now
he
that
might
he has the opportunity to perform like that, you see him.
he
Like,
might get
is
offensive
AJ Brown
player
being
of the
slept
week.
on and being the best receiver in the NFL?
Yeah. I mean, I think he had I read he had some record that he broke yesterday or on on
Yeah.
Sunday. So I mean he I know he's probably in the running for offensive player of the week, NFC. We'll see.
Where is it? There it is.
There it is. Yep.
100, and
I
this is
said his
second
name. I
time,
said his
Deb.
name a lot in a recap.
Second time he has career highs this season. The
Mhm.
second time.
Mhm.
3 touchdowns, which we all know should have been 4 or 5. For one, if Megan Fitzpatrick's not on that defense, he's scoring on that run.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And for
Mhm.
2, that one he dropped. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, that was right there in the breadbasket. Good defensive play, whatever. But, AJ,
It happens.
she should have still had it.
You can't catch them all.
Mm-mm.
he catches the majority though. So
Because that is his downfall. Everybody talks about him. The reason why they don't consider him elite is because of his drop passes. How do you feel about that?
everybody drops though. I mean, it just you need the right connection. I mean, there's a lot of reasons. I mean, he's definitely caught more than he's dropped, or else he wouldn't be in the position that he's in. So,
Facts.
Mhm.
I get it. What
Yeah.
about Miles Sanders, guys? Like, Miles Sanders had a rough last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was pretty rough for him. Coming to this year, he's scoring touchdowns. Like, we see
This
this.
is their first snap in the red zone today. Number 1, it's Sanders to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders running from 11 yards out.
And the way to be
I mean, yeah, he's got 5 rushing touchdowns this season. So yeah, I mean, he's doing great. I mean, the Eagles totally they lead the NFL right now with 14 rushing touchdowns. 6 from
Mhm.
Hurts, 6 from Hurts, 5 from Sanders.
Mhm. I think
Um,
Gainwell got one.
Mhm.
I think that's no. It's your
We're talking
14.
about bags.
He leads it too.
Miles Sanders. Does he need to do the same thing that Jalen Hurts do and realize that you've been hurt the last 3 years? Give the Eagles a contract they can pay and keep playing with us. Or do you think Miles Sanders' time is over?
No, I think he'll stay.
No, he actually want to stay here. He actually came out and said that publicly. I think that depending on how he ends the year, that determines what kind of money that he's going to be looking for. Because I can see him right now. He's over 500 yards.
Yeah.
Rushing, so he's going to easily crack.
Well, he's 5th
1,000.
in the league right now in rushing.
Right. So I don't know. I honestly don't know because you still got some people that's Miles Sanders haters that's basically saying that if you throw Kareem Hunt or if you throw David Montgomery into this behind this offensive line, then anybody could do what Miles Sanders is doing. But like I said before, last game, the Steelers' run defense is not that suspect as we think. So once again, Miles Sanders had 8-9 carries, 8. He averaged over 8 yards a carry.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm saying. You can't find that on the street. Last year, even though he had a terrible year, he still averaged over 5 yards per carry. So I think that you do give him something, but like I said earlier, I think I would try to give him a contract sooner than later. Because if not, then it's going to be a team that's going to actually need a running back. And he's going to get the money. It depends on what he wants to do mentally. Because his mentality coming into the season was he wanted just to win games. He didn't care if it was a 1-point game. He just wanted to win games. So if he still wants to win games, and we're the best opportunity for him to keep continuing to do that, then I believe that he will stay here.
What number is that?
See,
Like,
that's the
what are
hard
you
part.
saying? Like, Chris McCaffrey makes how much? Like 14? Somewhere around there.
Something like that, yeah.
So what are you saying Miles Sanders should take? For like it maybe even be a Jalen Hurts type situation where you only extend it for 2-3 years. Just
If
to
you
like
extend it for 2-3 years, I think I would give him at least 9 to 10 mil a year.
I agree
Yeah.
with that. That's the
yeah,
number I was
that's
gonna
pretty
go with.
Mhm.
Were you
There's
real
always a time for Eagle content creators, man. And like free Philly
well,
500, free Pat McAfee, free these guys, man.
Mhm.
Anybody that gets, bleeds green, you gotta give them love. You gotta support them. And YouTube be tripping all the time. Like I got unsubscribed to myself. You know what I'm saying? From my other account, I got unsubscribed to myself, so I understand the trials and tribulations of like, whoa, why did you unsubscribe me? Mrs. Bird Gang got unsubscribed from me, and I doubt that she did that on purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like the strike against Philly 500 and McAfee is stupid, and let these guys do what they do best and like give Philly fans the things that they need to produce at a high level. You know what I'm saying? So I am with you. You don't have to worry about it being a series or whatnot. Like I love Philly 500. I love Pat McAfee. Both of them I watch, and you know, hopefully that YouTube understands what they did and untake that strike away.
Facts. Facts.
But
I have a question for you guys. So since we got Quinn, were you guys shocked that there's weren't some more trades done before the deadline today?
only trade I wanted today was her Hunt.
Okay.
That's the only one. Like I was like, I love our run game, and I know like people always think it starts with Miles, and then you look at the rest of the running backs. No, it starts with Jalen, and then you go Miles, and then you go the rest of our running backs. And since that's a different caliber level than any other team out there has, even if you look at Tennessee, like their run game is based off Derrick Henry. The Colts' run game is based off Jonathan Taylor. The Cleveland Browns' run game is based off Nick Chubb. Those are the best three backs in the league right now. Our run game that we are still third in the league, I think, third or fifth, one or two, I forgot. But we're still top 5 in the league in rushing the football. It's based off of Jalen, Miles,
Right.
and the company. And as long as Jalen Hurts is our starting quarterback, we don't got to worry about that number going down.
I kind of disagree. And here's why. Only because the reason why a lot of people were saying that they wanted Kareem Hunt is because the health of Jalen Hurts. We know that he could bench press what he bench press, but at the same time, you don't want him to keep having to do quarterback sneaks into the red zone. You know what I'm saying? Kareem Hunt would have helped with that, or David Montgomery would have helped with that, being the number 2. Also, Himes went to the Bills, but we could have used him, especially in special teams, because he's a punt returner, I believe. So you just gotta look at it on how to help not just the team, but the individual players being healthy throughout the whole season. We can't sit up here and not have enough guys. Period. Look what happened to Derek Barnett. He got hurt, and then a gem came to us for Robert Quinn. So yes, it would suck for Gainwell or Boston Scott or Trey Sermon to lose their carries, but at the end of the day, Kareem Hunt would have been so much more for this team. But I don't think he wanted to be in the position as a backup running back. I think he wanted to be the guy, and I think that's where the whole get up was with the Browns. So I kind of thought that we could, but the way things were in the preseason when we were talking to him. But at the same time, I wouldn't have been mad if we didn't, and because it's running back kind of by committee. But our RB1 is always going to be Miles Sanders at the end of the day.
Yeah. Shout out to Philly Talk podcast. You know, it's
Mike, what's going on, Philly Mike?
Mike in the building.
Hey guys,
He
what's
says
going on?
Sanders was top 5 before the bye. Facts. You know, he's top 5 before the bye. And this last game, he didn't show anything to make him not top 5. You know what I'm saying? He took the carries that were given. Even Nick said that we probably should have ran the ball a little bit more. You know, when he got his carries, he did what he had to do. But he had 80 yards, you know, and limited carries. So, and he scored a touchdown. So
he averaged 8.8 carries on nine carries. He averaged 8.8. He had smooth almost 80 yards and a touchdown. That's what I'm saying. That that you can't find that on the street.
Like, it's kind of unfortunate for Miles this year. You know, I look at it in this aspect. You still got AJ, Devontae, Quez, Pascal, you know, Goddard. Like, this team is a pick your poison type team.
Yep.
You know, we're going into every game where I feel like as Eagles coaches, they should feel like, I don't care what you bring at me. You know, on both sides of football. I don't care what you bring at me. I got a counter for that. You know, you stop our pass game, we got a running game. You know, you stop our running game, we got a passing game. You stop our, you know, pass rush, we got a run stopping defense. You know what I'm saying? If you're trying to run the ball on us. If you're trying to, you know, pass the ball on, we got, you know, the best corners in the league right now to stop you. So it's like we're playing a different game of football than a lot of other teams are playing.
Well, and to your I would say to your point, you know, just another fact I was talking about today, but Brown, Devontae Smith, Goddard, they're the only trio of teammates in 2022 each with at least 30 receptions and 400 receiving yards. So we can go anywhere. You know what I mean? And our defense as well. You know, we have Reddick, we have, you know, Bradbury. I mean, there's so we got it all.
And we just added Quinn.
Yeah.
You know, I think Quinn, like I said, like maybe not this game, but the next game you can start seeing Quinn really break out. You know, he got to get accustomed to the system. But like, we are so dangerous. So dangerous. That's like we're like they say, the hunted or the hunters. We're the hunters.
Yeah.
Because like you can't hunt us.
Yeah.
Because whatever you do, whatever you try to stop, every week we're showing you whatever you try to stop, we got to counter that.
Right.
You know, whatever you want to do, whether you want to run the pass, you know, you want to blitz, you want to play man, you want to play zone, whatever you want to do, it's like we're waiting there for you to make your move. You know, like a chess piece, waiting for you to make your big move to make you think that you're about to checkmate us. And then we show you that we are on a whole nother level than you, and we play a different game than you play, and we counter that. And I don't see that being stopped by any one of these teams that we play the rest of the season for sure. And I don't see that being stopped by any team in the NFL, period. Because I do believe that we are the best team in the NFL, bar none. You know, hands down, whatever you want to call it. Like, we are that team, and people need to start respecting that. You need to
if we were to go to the Super Bowl, would the Bills be your choice?
Yeah.
The Bills?
I've been saying Bills and Eagles for several weeks now. You know, and you know what's funny? Before the season started, I was like, it's going to be Rams, Chargers. And the first week, I was like, and I was wrong with that. and then I went Bills, or I went Eagles, Bills after that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's my prediction. That's what I'm going with. I think they're the two best in the league.
Hold on one second, guys. Hold on 1 second. You guys take over for 1 second.
Hey.
But I think that that would be a great Super Bowl. I don't want to see us versus Patrick Mahomes because I think we could actually get to our gaps fast to the point where Patrick Mahomes wouldn't have that much time to be Patrick Mahomes. Andy Reid is a great coach, don't get me wrong, but I think that we will have a better matchup with the Bills.
And I want to see it for the fans too, to be honest.
Yo, yeah,
I mean,
facts.
it's going to be lit. I mean, between the
Mhm.
Bills fans and the Eagles fans, I mean, the energy in that stadium is just going to be something that no one has ever experienced, I think, in any season of the NFL. So,
And, and I'm always for, like, if you want to be the best, you got to beat one of the best, and one of the best right now is the Bills.
mhm,
Like BG said, that the AFC has a lot of tough teams. They got the Dolphins, they got the Chiefs, they got the Bills,
mhm.
and so forth. But they're gonna actually go against each other. What NFC team do you think would actually in the playoffs make some noise?
Trying to think, NFC besides us. I mean, I guess I mean, it's so funny that I'm going with with NFC East right now, but we went from NFC Least to NFC Beast. I've been saying that.
Mhm.
I mean, I
Mhm.
think the Giants might be something to look at.
Mm. See, I was saying the Giants, but like I watched them against Seattle, and
Mhm.
I don't think that they are that team that everybody thinks. In the NFC East, of course, it's always going to be the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not going to hate on them, but I would love to sweep them. We
Mhm.
won on my birthday on Sunday, that Sunday night, and I need us to win Christmas Eve. I need us to
Right.
sweep them. But I think the Cowboys will always give us some
Come
type
on,
of
time
hard
money.
time.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Um, like I said, the 49ers, I'm not sleeping on the 49ers, especially if Debo and McCaffrey is healthy.
Mhm.
I'm not
I
sleeping
agree.
on them.
I agree
Uh,
with that.
the Vikings, but we already beat them, you know, and they try to take the most obvious scheme that they had, where still they had Jefferson in motion
Mhm.
majority of the time. They took that away, and now they evolve with Dalvin Cook more, and then they just got the tight end from the Lions.
Mhm.
So they're trying to do a lot more with that. So you can't the Vikings. I'm not going to say the Packers because I'm an Aaron Rodgers fan, and
Mhm.
on the field, off the field, I think he's a jerk. but but
It doesn't matter in football.
right, but on the field, I'm a
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers fan, and one thing I know about Aaron Rodgers is that when he's frustrated, his game is off. If he
Mhm.
continued to be frustrated, we probably don't have to worry about him in the playoffs at all, even if they meet the wild card. So I'm not worried about them at all. So it's only those three teams: the 49ers. I
Mhm.
say the Vikings because they did get a little bit better, even though we spanked them in week 2, and the Cowboys, and that's only because they're division rival.
Mhm.
Like at random saying, who is our next test?
Hmm?
Who's our next test? To be honest with you,
Yeah.
the Titans,
I think the Titans too.
because the
Oh yeah.
Titans got King Henry, and we just lost Jordan Davis. Now, if he's not back by then we're going to have our hands full with him. Now, I understand that you said that we could actually beat them if Derrick Henry still have 150 yards rushing, but that's one of our weaknesses. Is the run defense. We need to tighten up on that. We can't do that without Jordan Davis, especially against King Henry. He's going to be stiff arming, breaking tackles, things like that. And we got a lot of missed tackles in the third quarter of this season. So I've been watching. So with that being said, I think that will be our biggest test to go against that run game.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not
I
saying
agree.
we're not going to win, but
Right.
that's the big test.
That's the only game that I'm worried about, and maybe a
So
little bit.
if we
Yeah.
blow out, say this, say we blow out the Titans,
Mhm.
say we go blow out the Giants, and
Mhm.
say we blow out the Cowboys for the second time around.
Mhm.
Will you guys punch in the Super Bowl ballot before the game even starts? Would you say that this team's won the Super Bowl already? Because I that's one thing I want to get fans to. I want to get fans to that point where they gotta realize that we have that team. You know what I'm saying? We have that team. And last year we did it with the Rams. Everybody knew no matter what happened through that Rams season last year, they were winning the Super Bowl. Like they were that good. They were that much better than everybody else. You know?
I think when they got OBJ, I was like, all
And
right,
that was overboard,
let's
right?
let's
OBJ, Von Miller at the
yeah,
trading
let's
deadline.
let's
That
catch
was
him up.
overboard.
Yeah, let's catch
But
him
even
up.
the year before, You know, Tampa Bay, when they went out and got all those people. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody knew that Tampa should win that Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? That was their Super Bowl to lose. Like, I want Eagles fans to be in that same suit this year.
Well,
Because
I think a lot are. I mean, I think a lot of people. I mean, I already booked my condo or my condo to go to Arizona.
yes,
Granted,
I already told mom she lives in Arizona. I'm
I'm
like, Mom,
working
I'm
it.
gonna
I
be in your
hopefully.
area
Yeah. I mean,
around
we'll
Super
see.
Bowl time.
But I'm hoping to be all dressed in green for majority of it. So
Yes, man. But hey, shout out to both of you guys for being out here, especially you, DV. You stayed the whole time with me tonight, man. Like,
wow.
I'm trying to do these, BG with friends in the nest type thing more often. I love being able to talk to so many different Eagles fans, content creators. You know what I'm saying? We give our own opinions about how we do things and how we believe with this football team. I'm definitely going to probably have the show once a week where it's like, you're going to see more than just BG. You're going to see like 3 other awesome Eagle content creators or, fans or whatnot. And we're going to talk some Eagles football, because it's good for everybody to get a lot of different perspectives, to get a lot of different heads. You get a lot of different heads in there, seeing what everybody else thinks about the situation. And it's always good talk when you're talking Eagles football. So
Yep.
we are 7-0, feeling
7-0.
good.
8-0 Thursday.
Like Thursday night. I want both of you
8-0.
guys to give me a hot take and the score position.
Woo! I mean, Eagles all the way. I'm gonna go. I think it's gonna be a blowout. I'm gonna go. I think they're gonna hold them too. So, I'm gonna go 35-7.
Woo! I like it.
Jalen Hurts is going to show off when he goes home. I'm gonna let you know that now. He that's his hometown. He's going to want to show off in front of his friends and family. But I do have to score 34-10. I got a 34-10. Yeah.
And I already told you guys, like, I did the same hot take the last 7 weeks. And I'm going for it one more time, hoping and praying that Jalen can answer my prayers. Jalen Hurts 400 yards passing. To silence the critics forever.
He's gonna get drug. He's gonna get drug tested.
Right?
A 400 touchdown game. You silence him, guys. That's it. There will be no more asking if Jalen Hurts can do whatever the hell you want him to do. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So 400 yards, Jalen Hurts, multiple touchdowns. Eagles win 42-7.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that is my goal. I think that they can do it, and I believe they will go out there and put it up there, man. But go ahead and give your last hot takes and where they can find you at on all social media platforms, guys.
All right, guys. My hot take. I as an Eagles fan, I'm saying undefeated this season. As a sports reporter, maybe losing 2, but I don't know who is 2 or lose to at this point. But guys, you can find me at Sport Report Deb on IG as well as Twitter. Reach out. Love to talk football. Love to talk baseball too. I gotta go. It's the end of the 7th, or I'm sorry, it's the bottom of the 7th right now. I gotta watch the 8th and the 9th inning to watch the Phillies win this. So, in game number 2. Or at least brings the the score to 2-1.
2-1, yeah.
Game 3. But that's it, guys. Reach out, say hi at Sport Report Deb.
And all the BGN network, go out there and message Deb over and over again. Say Bird Gang wants you on the network. Get here, do your show, because we definitely want you over here. We love having you on here.
Awesome. Thank you for having me, guys. All right. Should I head out? All right. Bye, guys. I'll see you soon.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
All
Go
right,
Birds.
Go Birds.
Bye.
So, it's King DV. King DV Sports, I'm sorry, on YouTube. King DV Sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all one word. What I got coming up next, me and my bro JC, we are doing a Showdown podcast tomorrow to touch base on the previous game against the Steelers and then the upcoming game against the Texans. And then we also going to do a pregame show an hour before the the Eagles play the Texans, and I'm mad because now it's on Amazon Prime. They were going to show it on Fox 29, but since the rain delay for the Phillies game, they decided to just do the Prime and not the Fox Sports game. But that's where you can find me at, man. I do talk Eagles, Sixers, man. I'm on the road to 500. I'm trying to get there. That's a small victory for me, and then I can aim for the monetization. Just help your boy get there, man. Just subscribe, share the content. If you like Sixers, you can also follow me. So that's everything that I got going on right now.
Y'all need to get me on the show, damn, goddammit.
But we waiting on you.
On my show. I need to be on the show, damn.
We waiting on you. We waiting on you.
Hey, and shout out to all you guys. Like I said, the network, we have went 1,200 deep. You know what I'm saying? We are 1,200 deep. We are a couple of hours away from monetization. BGN, go lock in on that, man. We're bringing the fire content. I want both of you guys to come on the network. You know, I know me and JC been talking about it, but you know, it is what it is. I'm trying to get you guys. I need the best talent. I want the best. And you guys are definitely the best over there doing that show.
Appreciate
man.
you.
I love the Showdown podcast over there. So you guys lock in on us. You know, lock in my boy JC Eagles Talk. Lock in my boy King DV. And go lock in on Deb. You know, even Haley Taylor, you know what I'm saying? She wasn't able to come in. I promise you she'd be back on the show. So that's all I gotta say, man. The Eagles we are that team. You know, like the merchandise says, go get you some We Build Different merchandise ASAP. For real. Because we are built different. And this is a different team, you know, than any other team in the NFL this year. And it is 2022. So I'm not talking about 2021, 20, 19, 18, whatever. I'm talking about 22. We are built different. Go get your merchandise and let's go. Let's ride this ride together. I will be at the Washington Eagles game Monday night, you know, first home game for BG, you know, and family. And we definitely gonna do our thing, man. We're gonna be podcasting, we're gonna be getting out for free stuff. We're gonna be doing a lot of stuff out there. So make sure you guys locked in on us and come check us out. So hey, like I said at the end of my videos, fly Eagles, fly 7-0, baby. Like this one says right here. We are definitely unstoppable. You know? We are unstoppable. And until someone can show us that we are not unstoppable, I'm gonna keep saying it. We are unstoppable. We cannot be touched. We are on a whole nother level, like Meek Mill says. You know what I'm saying? There's levels to this shit, and the Eagles are number one. We are definitely built different. And lock in to Bird Game 31. We're on the road to 6K. Subscribe, hit that like, we be out. Peace.